All right, this is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the boxing debate arena. I'll be hosting the show for today. Guys, if the mic sounds like shit, let me know so I can fix it. Today's the prediction show, so we will be taking down your predictions. So I'll take predictions from YouTube, the chat, obviously. I'll take predictions from phone calls. The phone lines are open, by the way, and also through StreamYard. So just gotta remind people that I think you do pay long distance if you're calling from outside the United States. So if you don't want to pay long distance fees, then join the StreamYard so you can give us your prediction. All right, we have Jimmy here. Jimmy, are you there?
Yes, sir. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good, man. How are you, man? You're good? Everything good, Jimmy? Are you scared about
Oh
the
yeah.
fight?
Every day above ground's a good day. I say it all the time.
Are you nervous about the fight?
Oh, I'm fucking sweating bullets.
Yeah, like I don't really give a shit who wins. This is not one of those type of fights for me, but it is an interesting fight because I don't know. I just have this feeling that something's gonna happen. I have a feeling that H is gonna win this fight. I don't think he's a better boxer. I think Usyk should win this fight, but again, just a feeling. I don't know about you, Jimmy. Do you have any weird feelings about this fight?
Well, I haven't had any gut reaction feelings yet.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, I mean, uh, pragmatically speaking, I would say that I would go again with Usyk myself, only because if any, who's the more, who's the better boxer? Who's gonna learn more from those prior 12 rounds? And it's all about getting somebody's rhythm and time and who can figure that stuff out quicker. And every time Usyk fights at heavyweights, and he's getting more acclimated to the weight,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to be able to absorb punches better every time he goes out there and does it. So traditionally, on top of that, usually when you lose a fight, you usually lose the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so yeah, I would think he would have to obviously catch Usyk doing something stupid. Like if Usyk try to like lay a combination on him, hanging there a little too long. I think he can't fight like a gentleman. He's got to be the bigger man. Fight like the bigger man. Make it ugly. It might
Mm-hmm.
just not be part of his nature to be that way. And Usyk isn't the type of dude you kind of get that way with because he's not like a shit talker. But then again, how bad you want it, right? So, but then like you can never say it's a heavyweight boxing match. Fucking anybody could land a punch and end it right there.
Yeah. You were saying talking about Usyk getting acclimated to the weight. I'm gonna just remind people: AJ weighing at 240 for the first fight, 240 pounds. Usyk 221 and 1/4 of a pound. Um, there's rumors that Usyk's looking a bit bigger this time around. So
Yes,
what does
I
that mean?
see.
So so
He
what?
is looking bigger.
225 to 30? I mean,
No, I mean he could still come in at 220, but what it is he'll be more muscular, meaning like he was trying to get heavier. It's a hard thing to put on quality muscle, stay lean at the same time, put on size. It's yin and yang, right? Most guys can't do it without steroids,
mm-hmm,
um, but without a long time. So what it is, I think, is he stopped because before he was always cutting down to fight a cruiserweight, so he had always never let his body get too big. So this time he was wanting his body to get big, but you only want to get so big so quick. And a lot of that would have been fat. I think he's become more muscular, and his frame is carrying it better now because it's been on there longer. And yeah, so muscle memory, just his reaction every time. Plus your tendons and your white tissues get used to the weight longer too. The more you carry it.
mm-hmm.
So it just, the more he stays at heavyweight, the longer he fights at it, the more acclimated he'll get to the weight.
And AJ's looking leaner. Another rumor.
He probably wants to be quicker, I would imagine, but that's not really his game. That's not
Yeah,
how he's going to beat him. He needs to beat him with power. That's just my opinion.
I was listening to some Sky Sports interviews there. They were at the Arrival event, and they had I think it was a former AJ sparring partner. He was an American guy, and he was saying that They're practicing. Or he know. I know. He was saying that the trick is going to be to jab Usyk's chest and the body and go to the body.
Yep.
What do you think about that?
Well, that's what you want. When someone has great footwork and is excellent with their distance, it's very hard to lay a clean jab on them, a square one. So what you do, you just aim for this, aim right for their chest with the jab. You know what I mean? And then that's what you aim for. You throw your punches at his chest because it'll help with the movement. You're trying to get too fine with the head smaller.
Mm-hmm.
So you try to get, small target, aim small, hit small. So when you aim for a bigger target, it's easier to hit that bigger target. So if it's off center a little, at least you're still putting a glove on him. Where if you miss at the head, you miss all the way. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's more.
So
it's there.
Yeah, exactly.
Don Ramon Champ in the chat says Usyk knows AJ will try to push him hard, so he put on muscle not to get pushed back. What do you think about that? AJ is gonna be trying to push him, to grab him. Why didn't he do that the first time though?
I think the first time I thought he tried to outbox him. I thought he could hang in there just with his size and box with him, which just wasn't the way. But if he was putting on more mass too, it's important on his legs, especially if AJ plans on. Well, he knows what bothered him in there. He knows what things really bothered him in that first fight. So if AJ was leaning on him, was his legs feeling heavy? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Who knows? I'm sure that's not shit he's going to tell anybody other than his trainer. But yeah, so obviously, just putting on the muscle all around is going to make Usyk more. He can just take the punishment better.
Yeah. Aldo's in this chat says strong. Thane says Usyk overpowered AJ in the clinches in the first fight. Check him. Did anyone watch the first fight? He's saying that Usyk overpowered AJ in the clinches. I don't remember that.
Well, a couple of times he was very aggressive, like pulling his arms free. But that's something they practice over at Papachenko's gym. Lomachenko does the same thing. Like you try to tire him up, they get very aggressive, and you could tell a few times. I think it surprised AJ. Like he wasn't expecting that. Like how aggressive he was trying to get away from that clinch.
He pulls down his arms. He goes down and pulls out his arms. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, he's very aggressive.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's crazy. When it comes to Robert Garcia, how much of an effect will that have on AJ's game plan?
Robert Garcia, he's like most guys out of his gym are bangers. Power is their thing. He doesn't deal with many guys who float like a butterfly and sting like one too. He usually has guys who can crack, put the weight over their front foot, and make it ugly if they have to. Again, you see, it's Robert. But if I was AJ, I would be hoping the old man, his father, comes down and looks at me, talks to me, maybe gives me some nuggets of wisdom, because the old man there is the true genius of the family of boxing.
Right. We have Mr. BDA. Yeah. Mr. BDA, are you there?
Yellow.
Yeah.
Yellow.
Hi, boys. How you guys doing? Hey, I was listening to what you guys were saying about that, and man, let me tell you, it's I think. By the way, I am your leader in the chat. Says you can't hear Jimmy on the phone line. Butch, are you on line in or?
Yes. Are you kidding me? So are we talking to myself the whole time? Are you kidding me?
Well, on the phone, he says. Do you have the phone lines open?
Yeah. Oh, well, the phone lines. Okay. I thought on YouTube. I was like, what the fuck? You know what? I'm gonna have to check that. Okay.
Well, while you do that, let me just. I was thinking about. I did a video on the last week about the Joshua Usyk too, and a couple of pertinent questions that need to be asked coming into this fight. And I misspoke when I rewatched it. I didn't really explain well what I meant by whether Usyk could stop AJ. I don't think he stops him as in. I would be surprised if he stops him as in he ices him. He drops him. But his hooks. That's he can hurt heavyweights with the. I mean, look at the left hook when he threw it against Tony Bellew, because everyone says that at cruiserweight he wasn't a puncher, but he iced him with a hook in the cruiserweight division. Then in the heavyweight division, he really did hurt AJ, made him stumble in the third round with a left hook. So there's a video of him practicing those hooks on the bag. So if obviously I don't think it's a good idea for him to start training with Joshua because Joshua has a very good uppercut and hooks himself. But if he tires Joshua out, I think a couple of hooks, and I think he could have Joshua reeling and maybe even stopped by TKO. Because, like I said in that video, Joshua can be broken. When he fought Luis, physically he could have continued. Yes, he was tired, but he was still conscious. He chose not to. He chose to pretend he wasn't hearing the referee. He was looking all over the place, and they stopped the fight. He wanted out. So Usyk has a very strong will and a very good gas tank. What happens if he goes in there and pressures Joshua? That's the other thing. Somebody said, and I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about that. Somebody said that Usyk's actually going to try to pressure Joshua, try to tire him out quicker. Because apparently somebody says, I don't speak Ukrainian or Russian, whatever they were talking in the corner, but somebody says that Usyk's corner told him, play it safe. But that now Usyk going in, he knows that if he puts the pressure on Joshua, he can actually tire him out. What do you guys think? Is that possible? Or have you guys heard anything about that, about supposedly Usyk playing it safe in the first fight?
Well, I would say he played it safe, without a doubt. The first 6 rounds, you could tell he was boxing safe. I think when you survive a dude, he took some of his big punches. He's going to try it again, obviously, not take something super clean the first, 18, 24 minutes of the fight. But after that, it'll probably, open up a little bit more. But I do believe if he would have sustained the pressure a little harder in the 12th, he could have stopped him. And it wouldn't have been a stopping from knocking him unconscious. It would have been just beating the will out of him to stay on his feet. Too much would have been, he was really sucking for air in that 12th round.
Yeah, he was, man. But that's the thing that Usyk has to worry about, though, because even when AJ was tired, he was still timing him with right hands occasionally, still making it competitive. So it's not like Joshua got completely outclassed, and there was just Usyk was always one step ahead. And I think Usyk will always be one step ahead if they continue to find that pace, because he's just that much smarter than Joshua. He can do more things in there. He thinks better. He thinks quicker. But here's my thing, though. We saw, I don't know if you watch the video, you can see I highlighted all the parts where Joshua went to the body. And Usyk, after the fight, said, oh, yeah, I felt those body shots. If Joshua starts going body, what can Usyk do to counter them?
Check hooks. Big time. If he starts going for his body too soon, he could walk into something. That's, you know what I mean? If you're going to go to the body, you want to do with a straight jab from distance, pop in and pop out. But if you really want to lay a good fucking hook into the body, you got to be in the grill. You got to be in the fucking danger zone. So if he's willing to go in there and, do it, then yeah, that's what he's going to have to do. But to make him sting, you have to be up close.
All right.
Yeah,
I just want to check. Caller, could you hear Jimmy and Mr. BDA? Caller, are you there?
I can't hear nothing.
I can't hear either. Caller. All right.
Make sure the volume on the mixer is on.
Yeah, everything should be fine. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna do it myself. You guys keep talking. I'll take care of it.
Okay. But Jimmy, here's the other thing about what you mentioned, that the hooks and the check hooks from Usyk to stop Joshua from going to the body. Because Joshua, we never saw him do that in the first fight. We never saw Joshua go hook, like lead with hooks. He was countering Usyk to the body, and it was one shot at a time because Usyk didn't see them coming. You're saying that if Joshua starts leading to the body, that's when we're going to see Usyk countering upstairs.
Yes, if he starts the attack to the body, other than a straight jab to the body. Because remember when Wilder, in the beginning of the third fight, he was throwing straight jabs to Tyson's body. Yeah, you're changing levels, but you're far enough away. You're not really going to get something too hard to the jaw. But if you're coming in and you feint in, throw one jab, and then try to jump on a right hook to his body or left, whatever one you want to throw, you're gonna have to be right in the dude's grill, right up close. So, and that's when Usyk's, and as well as I do, Usyk, if he really wants to put his weight in on those punches, especially now that he's gotten used to the weight and bigger and stronger, he can hurt you too. I think like you said, he got his respect in the third round. He definitely rocked. In that first fight, who would you say that you could? I think there was a time that you could tell that the punch bothered Usyk, but there wasn't one of those like, oh Christ, he's a little hurt, he's really hurt. There's a couple of times where, for me, as far as I can remember, that AJ looked hurt, like you could tell that shot hurt him. So
yeah, I remember he staggered a couple of times. I think some of the staggering that AJ did in the middle of the fight was from him just being out of position. But the only time I remember Usyk looking like he was compromised a little bit was in the 7th and 8th when Joshua connected with those body shots. And at that point, Usyk was probably, trying to get his second win. So he just started retreating a little bit more. And then once he got his second win by the championship rounds, it was mostly all Usyk. So you're right. I never saw if anybody was in trouble was Joshua in the 3rd, and then in the last 10 seconds of the fight where he was just exhausted, reeling. By the way, Bucho, Anderson Aldo wants in, and Gonzalo, you sent it. Gonzalo's
well, send him a link.
Send him a link.
You can send him a link. Just click on the top. Meanwhile, I'll take a phone call.
Kick this Gonzalo out because it's not he's not using this account anymore.
All right. 205. You're on the air. 205.
What's up now?
Oh, no, Uncle.
What's going on, man?
What's up? What's on your mind?
What's happening? Let me just say this, man. AJ got a chance. He got a chance to do something real special. He got a chance to regain his titles. But if he do this, AJ don't have to really do anything else. He became the champion 2 times, 3 times, and now it's only one fight to make after that, and that's with Deontay Wilder. And then he can go ahead and cash out. I am sick of him fighting these Russians. You know what? I seen a Russian woman lift a car up in the air. Leave that Russian alone. I don't know why you keep fighting these Russians, Pulel, Pie. Stop fighting these guys, man. Stop fighting them. AJ got something. He got a chance to do something very special. It's become the undisputed champion again. And it's only one fight to make after this, and that's with Deontay Wilder. He can cash out and be in the Hall of Fame and get that gold jacket. He never have to work again. But if you keep fighting these Russians, you keep fighting these guys that you can't spell their name, somebody gonna whoop your ass, and you ain't gonna have no choice but to retire. Just stop fighting these Russians. You fight these guys, you don't know nothing about them, and then you get in there and they whoop your ass. So you need to start thinking about cashing out right now. I believe AJ gonna win the fight. I believe it's gonna go all 12 rounds, and I think AJ is gonna win if he stay focused on that body. Every time he hit Usyk in the body, Usyk backed up. If you hit him upside that hard ass Ukrainian head, it ain't gonna back him up. You ain't gonna do but make him angry, and he's gonna beat you to death. This is what I'm saying. So let me just say this in closing. Deontay Wilder is out there, and he's very angry, and he's fighting a guy that looked like Tyson Fury, and he's doing it again. Why would you fight a guy that you have as a training sparring partner, and you don't beat his ass 7 days a week, and now you want to give him a chance at winning a fight? Really? Are you serious right now? So let me just say this, and I'm going on by my damn business. Y'all be careful out here. Be careful how you treat someone, especially a woman. A woman is the worst person to mess with when you make her mad. Hell have no fury when a woman is scorned. Now you got that guy there, he didn't treat her right, and she knew what she did. She said, I'm losing my weight, my hair falling out. And if you would have been out there with those women, we would have had 2 kids. But you was out there with those women. So she let his ass sit in that wheelchair for 3 days. And she came back, and the whole house was smelling like ass and that. So be careful how you treat women. Be careful how you treat them. Treat them like you treat your mother. You treat them with love, kindness, and care. And that's all I got to say, player. Appreciate y'all.
All right, thanks for the call, man.
There you go,
Take care, man. All right.
So what was his prediction?
Well,
did he pick AJ? Did I hear that correctly?
Decision.
AJ yes, I believe he did.
I
yes,
got
AJ
it
by
right
decision.
Here. I got it right here. All right, we have also Aldo here, Anderson Aldo. Jimmy, let's go. Prediction.
Okay, it's official. We haven't made one of these in a while now.
Yeah.
All right, and it's okay. So it's opposite weather too, if I'm not mistaken. Saudi Arabia. It's not summer now. It's winter there, right? Am I right on that?
I
I know
don't
they
know.
basically have a rainy season.
But they
It's not
don't
like
have,
they have
yeah,
fucking.
they don't have winter. It's like equator type. I don't know. Let me check it
Yeah,
out.
so it's rainy
Let me check them
season, I
out.
guess, is what it is. It's so instead of being 130 degrees in the shade, it's 90.
Oh no,
So I mean, it's brutally hot. I don't know how good that air conditioning system is. Some
it's
guys, they don't like fighting in an air-conditioned place. They say something in the air. That's an old wives' tale thing. Back in the day, when they first started doing air conditioning places, a lot of fighters didn't like it. It's just a little side note. But I'm going with Usyk. Unanimous decision. I think he's going to do a repeat, and I think he's going to look even better.
All
But again,
right.
it's my opinion. If I'm wrong, I am, and I will not lose 1 second sleep about it.
Yeah, because you're gonna have AJ fans coming at you saying like,
Of course. And I like AJ. Nothing personal. I don't have to dislike the fighter to pick against him.
mhm.
It's a
All
fucking
right.
game.
It's
Too many
just
guys
prediction,
forget that.
guys. I mean, I know some people are gonna take it super serious in the chat, and they're gonna come back. If we get it wrong, they're gonna come at us. If we get it right, they're gonna disappear. Steve Munoz, thank you for your contribution in the chat. Thanks for the super chat. Saludos BDA and panel. If Fury versus Usyk fight at the end of the year, sorry, if they fight at the end of the year, who you got? All right, quickly. If Fury fights Usyk, who would win?
Ooh.
Anybody? Jimmy.
That I'd have to really look at the size of Fury. Fury would have to come in smaller. You wouldn't want to be. He couldn't be the way he was in that last Wilder fight. Remember, he was breathing with his mouth wide open at the end of 4 rounds
Yeah.
because he had a completely different game plan. He would have to go back to being Fury on top of his toes, jabbing, using that fucking circus-like fucking frame. That 6'9" frame to his advantage. It was all about height and jabbing and being old for Fury. So he would have to lose weight. That's a lot of training. It's just a lot to ask a guy who's got so much money already to put himself through that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but I would honestly say I don't know. I'd call it a 50-50. I really would right now.
Weird fight to predict. It might not even ever happen. So, we'll talk more about that after Saturday, depending on what happens. Let's take a phone call because this person has been waiting for a long time. 650. You're on the air. 650.
What's up, everybody? So I just don't think boxers who get dominated like that don't fare too well in rematches. I mean, Usyk is not a Ruiz. I think AJ got bailed out in his last rematch because Ruiz obviously didn't take it seriously. I mean, if you go to like Vernon Forrest and Winky Wright, Shane Mosley, just to name a few, usually at high level, like the high level, and guys getting beat like that. I got Usyk by a decision wide, like Jimmy said.
All right. What's your name? Or what do we call you?
I am your leader.
Oh,
I am
all
your
right.
leader.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I am your. What'd you say again? What's the prediction?
Usyk by decision.
Okay.
I'm afraid, though. I'm kind of afraid if it's even if it's a little closer, like the last fight, they might rob Usyk in London or wherever they're fighting in England. It's a high probability.
Yeah, that's what I'm fearing, though. Saudi Arabia, listen, they want to continue doing business with
It's in Saudi Arabia. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's in Saudi Arabia.
But here's the thing, though.
Either way.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, either way, they're very pro AJ.
But not only that, they want to keep working with Top Rank, Matchroom. Like, they have big plans from what I'm hearing. And in a press conference, Eddie Hearn's talking about, this is going to be great for Saudi Arabia, another big fight. And, maybe in the future we'll be hosting eventually like a championship fight with a Saudi Arabian. He's looking super long term. Like, they want to go back over there. And Usyk is not part of Matchroom. And he doesn't sell like AJ.
And I think, I agree with that. I think Saudi Arabia is that's why I think Fury is going to fight in December. That's why I think Fury is bullshit, because I think Saudi Arabia throw whatever money Fury wants to fight again. you know, and and AJ. I'm not sure if is AJ Muslim.
That's what I'm hearing. I don't know. They're saying he's from Nigeria, but they do have like what, some Muslims over there. I don't think he's Boko Haram, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't really care.
but I wouldn't be surprised if there was a robbery.
I can't really hear the caller. I don't know if anybody else on the panel can hear, but I can.
Yeah, I can't hear him either.
At all?
Okay.
Oh,
No, I hear
It's very low, very low.
oh,
him
okay.
in spots, but it's almost like he's drifting in and out. But I'm ascertaining what you guys are saying based on Pucho's responses.
Well, I'm using the booster here. It should be working now.
I'm assuming he said that he has the advantage in Saudi Arabia for like a whole bunch of reasons.
Well,
right?
he feels like he's gonna get the advantage.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me better?
Yeah, caller's right. I think I hear him. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, like, I just mentioned. I asked if AJ was Muslim. I wasn't sure if he was or not. And then,
I think
he is.
I
think AJ is a. He is.
I don't know, but just looking at everything, like just all the clues, right? I would say that I would point to that. I'm not. Don't quote me on that. But just everything. It makes sense to come to that conclusion.
Has anybody ever seen him get in the ring and go
yeah.
palms up? Like you'll see all the other Muslim fighters. You'll always see them. Like even Beterbiev throw his palms up.
No,
you know,
hasn't done that.
up. You know what I mean, towards the ceiling. That's as you know, the Muslim prayer. I don't remember ever seeing him do that. That's why I'm curious.
I've never seen that. Well, anyways, caller, anything else?
No, I just got Usyk by decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was a robbery.
All right. Well, we got you down for that Usyk decision. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see you on the post-fight show.
Right on. See you later, guys.
Take care.
Later. I'd be, if I wouldn't go. I mean, yeah, seriously. If he was Muslim, I'd be a little iffy about that. I mean, it's a neutral site, but it's not neutral if there's cultural commonality between a fighter and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so
no, I understand.
That bothered me.
In the chat, everybody's saying that he's not Muslim. And it's true. I never heard that. Yeah,
okay.
I don't know who made that up.
Yeah, I know there's a quote like back, I think before the Klitschko fight where he said like I just respect them, but I don't know if that's like remained the same. I just think that he hasn't really said anything. But either way, he's still the A side and the favorite. Yeah. Obviously, the caller talked about the matchroom connections and Usyk just being like this sort of this fighter that just floats around between promotions. So even outside of that whole Muslim thing, he's still obviously going to have the advantages in the area. So yeah,
absolutely. And we all know that AJ versus Fury is the big fight. Usyk versus Fury, not that much, you know.
I don't know. I think people underestimate how big that fight is, especially if Usyk can get a knockout. Because I said this before, that would be the first time since Ali and Frazier that two undefeated heavyweight champions fight for the undisputed championship of the world. And with a knockout over AJ, you'd get like all of the UK would be watching that fight. You'd have Fury, the AJ knockout, hypothetically, right? Boosting Usyk. I think that would be a huge fight, honestly. People like underestimate how big it is.
The last boxer defending British heavyweight boxing against Usyk.
That's right.
Yeah, that's how they would play
it. You know what?
Yes, go ahead.
Well, just two things. One, I don't know about the Muslim thing, but I do remember. I think I remember hearing. I think that JJ, before he fought Ruiz the second time, he said something about drenching the streets with the blood of infidels, something like that. So he might be Muslim. I don't know. But the other thing I wanted to mention was we've never seen Usyk in a rematch. Yeah, I mean the only fight that really deserved a rematch, from what I can remember in recent years, was the Brady's fight. It was a close fight. Even he admits that
he was crazy.
I think he said he wasn't sure if he was going to get the decision when they were announcing it. So that one deserved a rematch. But of course, there was a tournament going on, so he had to go forward. But we don't know. He looks like the type of guy that can make adjustments and could actually excel in a rematch. You know, it's sort of like Lomachenko too. We've never seen him in a rematch because nobody fucking wants to give him a second go. You know, they're just so annoying to fight in and out. A lot of things. They always end the fight stronger than the other guys. So
what about AJ in a rematch?
Well, one thing that you could say though is that while we haven't seen him in a rematch, we have seen him adapt in the same fight, like the Chisora fight. So that would point to his adaptability between fights, I'd say that
Even
that
better.
would show a good potential point. That you've seen him in fights adapt to fighters. So
Yep. All right, guys, let's take another phone call here. 951, you're on the air. 951. Oh, he just hung up. Damn, right when I clicked on. 484, you're on the air. 484.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Olaf. I'm going with Usyk, round 9, stoppage. I really don't know how AJ is going to beat him. I mean, for months now, people have been saying that AJ is going to put on size and just, like get really physical with him and bully him and things like that. But now everyone's saying he's leaner, which kind of indicates that, I mean, if he was going to bully him and stuff, you would think he'd get bigger. But I mean, he's just like, if he's leaner, he's going to try to use like his speed and boxing, which is not, it didn't work last time for him. So it's not going to work this time for him. And, I'm really excited for this fight, man. I haven't been this excited for a fight since last year. And, I want to see two white guys fight for undisputed. I do think that Fury isn't retired. And he just vacated that Ring Magazine belt because he wants to, when Usyk wins, he'll beat Usyk whenever that fight happens, and then he'll be probably like the first ever 3-time lineal champion or Ring Magazine champion. So I mean, that's why I think he vacated that belt. And I don't know, that's it. Like I said, I'm really excited for this. I've been this excited since the Fury Wilder fight last year. I think this is the biggest fight of the year, and
hey, Olaf,
I really hope Usyk wins.
Could you repeat why you want to see that fight, Usyk and Usyk against Fury? Just repeat what you said to piss people off.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to, because I want to see two white guys fight for undisputed. Two undefeated white heavyweight champions fight for undisputed.
All right. Well, that's your opinion. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, and just one other thing. Like, what's messed up is when Usyk, I'm pretty confident he's going to win this fight. Even if he wins this fight and it moves on to Usyk versus Fury, like all of these people are just going to talk about like Joshua fighting Wilder. They're not even going to talk about Fury. And like you would think, like I really hope that like Joshua loses and then just fades away and is done. Like I hate his fan base. I don't like him as a person. He is a Muslim, by the way. Oh. He's an extremely radical Muslim too. Yeah, he's a radical Muslim racist. Joshua. He doesn't like white people. So
that's true.
Yeah. So. Okay. So I mean, it's really messed up because you're gonna have all the black UK fans and then the black Wilder fans are just gonna talk about this Wilder Joshua fight again like it's 4 years ago, like, and they're not, and no one's gonna pay attention to this Fury Usyk fight. I mean, I do think it'll be a big fight because it's for the undisputed heavyweight championship, but you're just gonna see months. You're gonna see months and months of people just talking about Wilder and Joshua again like it's 2018. Like, and I'm not looking forward to that at all. But that's all I had.
August 28th, I guess the WBC gave Fury, he has till the 28th of this month because he gave up the linear. They took that, and he gave up his Ring Magazine title. So that's starting to show, like, I mean, he's starting to give up belts, and he has till the end of the month, 2 weeks to decide. And if he doesn't, this is the killer. They're going to take that WBC belt and put it on the line between Wilder and Elenius.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So
I really hope that he.
So there won't even be a unified belt to fight for.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I really haven't heard. I mean, people are just speculating now that like Wilder's fighting Helenius. I hope he's done. I hope him and AJ never fight again, both of them. After AJ loses this week, and then Wilder I hope they're both done. I really do. But I mean, supposedly he's fighting, and you're right. They're definitely. If Fury vacates that belt, they're going to put it on the line for Wilder's next fight, whoever that's against, if it's Elenius or whoever. And would you be really spiteful and say, no, fuck that? You know what?
Would you disavow? Would you disavow Fury if he let go of that WBC if Usyk wins and just ruins the whole division essentially?
Yeah, I would disavow it. I mean, I don't agree. I mean, I'm a big Fury fan, but I don't disagree with a lot of his behavior and the things that he said and what he's been doing. Like the whole Derek Chisora thing, like that's ridiculous. I don't think they obviously weren't serious about that. There's no way they could have been serious about that. I mean, it's just a way to keep his name in the news. Take headlines from this, Usyk Joshua fight probably.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I really hope he just holds on to that belt just to be spiteful to Wilder. You know, like you're like no, like I mean, 'cause they're definitely going to do that. 100%. They will put that belt on the line for Wilder and
all right, Olaf.
he vacates it. I mean,
we got other phone calls, but thank you for calling. All right, call back after the fight. All right.
All right, thank you. Take care.
Take care. All right.
Hey, by the way, can I just say something real quick, man?
Yeah.
Real quick. If Usyk wins this Saturday, and Fury does fight him, and that fight happens, and Crawford Spence doesn't happen, black people won't have the fight they want to see, and white people will. I think there's something wrong there, Butch. I think it's like a power disparity going on, and I think we're gonna have to talk about that if that scenario occurs.
Oh, what was that? I'm in Saudi Arabia. All right. Just want to quickly read a super chat. J Nels. Sorry if I'm fucking up your name here. Thank you for your super chat. He says Joshua gonna be up 3 rounds on the cards before the bell even rings. I'm reading it like a retard. Joshua gonna be up 3 rounds on the cards before the bell even rings. Kind of like Canelo West against Bivol. So J Nels is saying that the fix is in. And I wouldn't be surprised. AJ, okay, I'm going to take a phone call. I don't want to take time here. But the fix could be in. 951, you're on the air, 951. Yo, 951.
Boom, boom, guy, LDBC, what's up?
Oh, what's up, man? Your prediction.
My prediction. Yeah, I got Usyk being favored for this fight. I don't know. I think the mindset of him almost going to war, or whether he went to war or not, I don't know. But the mindset of your country being at war, and that you got that killer instinct, I think that gives him a leg up, and he's going to be more aggressive. He put on size. That's natural if you have that killer instinct mindset. You I don't know, you just feel real alpha, especially during wartime. And then Joshua getting leaner, I think it's a tactic. I don't know. He's going to have to try something different. I know the body shot hurt Usyk the first fight, but I don't know. I thought he would put on more size to hurt the body more. But, hey, he's the rematch king. He tries once. He sees what he's done wrong, and he tries again. So I got it 50-50, but I'm leaning toward Usyk just because he knows he can give his countrymen, motivation. By him beating, having the heavyweight champ as, Ukraine, as Russian troops basically destroy his country. So that's my mindset on that.
What's your specific prediction?
I got Usyk winning. Man, I don't want to say knockout because that's a big body. AJ is not going to go down easily. So I'm going to say by split decision.
All right.
I would say split decision.
All right.
And then next, I hope Joshua wins, though, because I want to see Joshua versus Fury. That'd be a good fight.
Okay.
But
yeah,
if Joshua loses, I think Joshua versus Wilder is a good fight, too. So you'll still get 2 good fights. You'll get Usyk Fury if he comes out of retirement, which I'm pretty sure he would, and then you'll get Wilder Joshua. So I think it's a win-win either way.
All right.
But that's all I had.
All right. Well, thanks for calling, all right? Call back after the fight.
Peace.
Take care. All right. Another phone call. 570. You're on the air. 570.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
What's up? Prediction time.
Well, I think the prediction I'm going to go with is lockdowns in a couple months.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna have the fix in for Joshua because it's just the guy's too marketable. It makes too much sense. You tie in what all the corporations are doing with the ESG scores and all this shit. I guarantee you, they're gonna set it up for Fury versus Joshua, and Fury's gonna take a fucking dive, and then you crown your king right there, and then here comes Wilder.
That would be fucking insane, man. That's quite a prediction there.
It's not
worst timeline.
Look at the world we live.
Holy shit, you're a doomer.
None of this shit's
What's going on, man?
I got I'm 27 years old. I got 2 kids, and all I see is ass clowns every fucking where. Everybody my age and younger has their head so far up their fucking ass. I'm working 6-7 days a week. We got people still wearing masks like fucking retards. I mean, fuck.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Listen.
you know what it is though? They turned CERN on, and the very next day somebody blew up the Georgia Guidestone. So we might be actually
Hey,
in a
brother,
good
hey,
timeline, but maybe
listen.
that
Yeah,
that
no.
timeline is shifting back
Listen,
and forth between good and bad. So I don't know.
get ready for Project Bluebeam. That's the final one. After fucking monkeypox and whatever else they got, they are going to do a fake alien invasion, and all the fucking sheep. Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, we were created by lizard people. Yeah. Oh yeah, let's go jerk each other. Oh, fuck out of here. People need to wake the fuck up. Enough of this shit. Get rid of the fucking Fed. Go back to gold, silver back currency. Fuck this shit.
All right, how do we call you? Because I'm going to write down your prediction.
My name is Augustus, and yeah, I mean, like I said, man, it's Joshua's gonna win by decision. It's gonna be bullshit. End of story.
Oh,
You need
all
to show
right.
up the second Renaissance, man.
Yeah, make sure you drop.
I would love, dude. I honestly got not to take. I'm sorry, I'm on a fucking rant here, but you guys, man, like I started listening to you. I think around the Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo fight, and dude, you guys, all the guys on the show, man, you guys are fucking great. You guys call it how it is, and yeah, I'm really appreciative that you guys do a show. So thank you for taking my call.
All right, take care, man.
Thank you, man.
In the chat, Don Ramon says.
Brother.
In the chat, Don Ramon says, "What does that have to do with Usyk, Usyk versus AJ?" It's like, great call.
He's
All right,
If
he's wound up. He's
Real eyes, realize,
Mhm.
realize.
Hey, we're trying to have
That's
a little
right.
bit of fun here, people. People are ruining it with reality, and we're trying to
Hey,
escape reality.
I caught. I hope the guy heard what I said. Second Renaissance. We need that guy in the second Renaissance.
Yeah, he heard it. He heard it.
yeah,
All
for
right.
sure.
Who has? Let me check Discord. Okay, we have the same amount of people. We have more phone calls. Let's go through the phone calls. 347. You're on the air. 347.
Yo, what's going on, man?
Yo.
Hey, let me take off my
What's up, MMA?
headphones so it doesn't mess up. You hear me now?
Yep,
What?
All right,
we
Go
can
ahead.
hear
now?
you.
Is everything good?
Yeah, go ahead.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
Listen. Oh, Anthony Joshua. Oh, Anthony Joshua. But listen, bro. At the end of the day, right? I think AJ key to winning is the body shots. At the end of the day, we know that Robert Garcia has fighters who are good in field of throwing body shots. Like, look at Virgil Ortiz. That was the worst beating I ever saw anyone put on somebody to the body. That was crazy. So, and also we know Robert Garcia, his fighters, not all of them, right? But most of them are aggressive, fighters. And AJ's AJ's trainer now, I forgot his name, my fault, but it's not Rob McCracken, but some other guy. He said the old AJ will be back. He's bringing back the old AJ. And I think, Usyk is going to get stopped. He's going to get destroyed. I mean, AJ is going to be a bigger problem to Ukraine than Putin. He's going to destroy Usyk. It's going to be demolished. He's going to demolish him. Listen, and I also wanted to say, like the other guy, listen, Biden is an extraterrestrial sleeping lizard. But anyway, shout out to everybody in the chat.
Wait.
Anthony
MMA.
Joshua's
So
going to whoop.
Whoop. Your prediction is AJ by whooping.
Yes, AJ by spanking, by whipping, whatever. Whatever
I don't know.
you wanna say, but
Before he
I would
hangs
say
up,
I would say
Rex is
probably
looking for you, man.
Later rounds. Peace out.
Did he hear what I said?
Nah, he's gone.
Fuck. Rex is looking for him, man. He's on the warpath for MMA. MMA was over at what rep it's bad mouthing him. So we gotta straighten that out.
All right, we'll talk to MMA. Get that done. Let's take another phone call. Fuck that shit. 520. You're on the air. 520. Yo. 520. All right. This guy's sleeping. All right, 830. You're on the air. 830.
Hello.
Yo yo.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I'm the Can Man, and I believe Usyk is going to beat AJ, and he's gonna have to start off how he had him in the 12th round, aggressive and pacing him, because you could give that 8th round to Anthony Joshua. That was his. I believe that 8th round in that last fight was the best round that we saw AJ actually land on Usyk. But after that 8th round, Usyk was just on a tear, and he's gonna have to finish off what he did in that 12th round. I think Usyk wins, 7th round knockout. If he comes in 230, 232, around there.
You're dreaming, buddy. You're dreaming.
Yeah, and what do you mean?
I'm not.
Okay, well, you're making an excuse here. So you're saying if he comes in at 230, I don't think he's gonna kill anybody. Does anybody believe or think that Usyk's gonna come in at 230?
No way. No
I think people are overrating how much bigger he looks. I don't even see a huge difference.
Exactly. He's a natural cruiserweight. And also, let me say this. AJ was hurting Usyk to the body in the first fight. But that's beside the point.
Okay.
Usyk coming in, I believe Usyk coming in 230, and he's gonna knock him out.
Well, let me just. Last time he came in at 221, so we'll see. Maybe
9 pounds.
It's
9
possible.
pounds.
Well,
waiting in the war.
He's a cruiserweight coming. Listen, it could happen. I don't know. Well, we'll see.
I mean, he dropped to 200 over in Ukraine, so really he's like regaining 30 pounds at that rate, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, anyways, anything else, caller?
Oh yeah, I gotta say, fuck AB.
All right. Yeah, he just dropped.
Yeah,
right,
pulling out of a fight. Hey, those same people there from the LDBC and all that were calling Ryan Garcia pussy for mental health issues and all that. What about the one of their princes, AB? Are they gonna call him out? And by the way, that whole thing about Usyk, real quick, about him being 230 or whatever, is because there was a picture of him looking a little, having a little fat around the waist, but that he's never been fucking completely ripped. And number two, I think this all stems from Amir Khan, because he went over to Usyk's training camp and he said, "Oh yeah, he told me that he's at 230 or something, or he plans to come at 230, and he does look heavier." But this is for the guy Amir Khan. He's had concussion after concussion. Are you really gonna trust what that guy has to say?
That's a good point. That's an excellent point. All right.
It'd be way too much. That'd be too much because his last fight he weighed, 10 more pounds. I know it doesn't sound like much, but that's a big ask. Because putting on that naturally, putting 10 more pounds of muscle on a frame naturally is hard.
What claim do you guys think is what claim do you guys think is more crazy, that AJ will be coming in lower or that Usyk will be coming in higher? I think AJ coming in. I hear that. That sounds crazy, man. He was already at a low at 240 in the first fight. For him to come even lower, that seems like just the worst idea possible. Out of any style switch up, I think that's just suicide. I think him losing that weight. Wait. Let me finish my point real quick. I think him losing that weight is part of the reason why he was getting rocked so many times by Usyk. It's like sort of fucking the fat dude. Yeah, the fat Ruiz. Mexican. What's his name? Ruiz and Areola, right? He lost all the weight. Actually, wasn't like a fat, lard piece of shit. And he gets dropped all of a sudden by this bum, Areola. I think that's the wrong move. He needs to gain weight, if anything. But he's just an idiot.
That's totally wrong. At the end of the day, right? I think AJ, he is not as lean as he was in the first fight. I think he's more lean because he wants to have his stamina, but he's also going to be pushing the fight. And when you're pushing the fight, the guy pushing the fight, you also have to have stamina, right? Yes, it would. He might lose a little bit power, but also he gains something from it, which is stamina. If you understand what I'm saying.
Well, he's never going to have better stamina than Usyk. His strength would be strength.
But to have stamina to go in the later rounds, so he can pressure Usyk in the later rounds and get the finish.
How is he going to pressure him if he's losing power? Somebody already mentioned that he was heavier by 20 pounds and he was getting pushed back by the smaller
But
Usyk. How would losing weight benefit that at all? Makes no sense.
AJ is not. He's not as lean as he was in the first fight. Like I just said, are you listening? I just said he's
So
not
he's
as
getting
lean
fatter and
as in the
smaller? That's terrible.
What? What are you talking about?
He's less lean, but he's losing weight? That means he's getting fat and smaller.
No, what do you mean? He's not fat. You could look. So listen,
Do you
what
know
are you
what
talking about?
lean
AJ's
means?
not fat.
What does lean
He's
mean? Can you
muscular.
tell
What
me
are you
that?
talking about? Like, what are you talking about? I'm
What are
saying
you
that.
talking about?
What do you mean? I'm saying that AJ is
He's
more
less lean, but
is less
smaller?
lean. Yes. No,
Do
not
you know what that
smaller.
means?
He's less lean because he's going to come in there to have more stamina. Like, bro, you sound retarded a little bit. Like, come.
No, do you know what lean means? What do you mean he's going to remain the same weight? That means he's gaining something else if he's staying the same weight.
He's
If he's
not
less
as
lean.
lean.
in the
If you
chat,
understand what I'm saying,
SGT or
that
Sergeant,
he
I don't know.
has more
Hold on.
weight than the last time. Do you not
Let me get
he's
some
increasing in weight, is
guys.
what you're
Let me get
saying.
some comments from
He
the
has
chat
more
here,
weight,
and
That's
then
not
but he's
even what I'm
still
talking
lean.
about. Are you an idiot, dude?
Alright,
That's
guys.
not
Are
even
you
what
an
I just
idiot?
said.
Are you? Come,
No,
bro, I'm not
I'm
even
a very
arguing
intelligent man.
with people
Yo, guys,
like
can you
this.
hear me? All right, let's calm down. We're gonna get this debate going, but we gotta go to a phone call. Then we switch back. Actually, let me just read a comment quickly. Here from Jesus. All right, SGT US United States Marine. I don't know what the fuck it is. Sergeant Z says more muscle means his body muscles eat up more oxygen, which will decrease his stamina and energy. Lighter is actually better for stamina. So there you have it. I guess if you have less muscle, it eats up less oxygen, and you have more stamina.
You're smaller.
Yeah.
Bucho.
Yeah.
The more muscle you have, the harder it is to get oxygen through the muscle. It takes more oxygen to push through bigger muscle.
Okay, but let me say something real quick about that. Let me say something real quick.
all right.
If AJ does come lighter, he's still gonna be heavier than Usyk, and if Usyk backs him up, no matter how lean Joshua gets, realistically talking, he's still gonna tire faster than Usyk if he starts overexerting himself. He's not that type of fighter. So whether he loses weight or gains weight, I think ultimately it's gonna be the same thing. But I think I agree a little bit with Aldo. Like maybe leaning down too much. I mean, what's the leanest he's ever been? Was it the Usyk fight?
Recently it was that first fight, like 240 in his recent fights, right? Like I believe since like becoming champ, that's a low weight. Other fights he's coming at 250.
I thought he was
Ruiz second fight. Are there more calls coming?
Yeah, we have one phone call. Let's take a phone call.
Okay, let me look up the weights and then we'll come back.
Because I think check the Ruiz second fight. Wasn't he at 238 or something crazy like that? Maybe I'm crazy. All right, let's take a phone call. 520. You're on the air. 520.
Hey, how's it going, BDA? Can you hear me?
This is Bucho, but go ahead.
Oh, Bucho, my bad. Yeah, this is Zero Cool. I was saying, I don't know what people see in Joshua. I mean, he got schooled pretty bad the first fight. I don't think it was really close. I was watching a video of Usyk's sparring partners, and they're saying that, you know, his punches are getting even stronger, and he's having more stamina. So, I mean, I don't see anything pointing that it's going to be anything different. You know, I expect it to be a nice, well-thought-out fight. I expect AJ to, you know, make some adjustments, but it's not as bad as Shakur Stevenson versus Valdez, but it's kind of almost the same in the sense that Usyk schooled him the whole fight. So I really think that if it goes to decision, I mean, I got Usyk, but you know, because what you guys were mentioning earlier, that AJ is the money side for DAZN and for a whole bunch of things. They just paid him $100 million plus for a contract, so they need him to earn. They need him to bring in the money. So I wouldn't be surprised if they give it to AJ and make it a trilogy later on. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say.
All right.
Me personally, I think I have Usyk knocking him down twice. I'm not saying there's going to be a stoppage, but I do see him AJ hitting the canvas.
All right, Usyk decision and 2 knockdowns for
Yes,
for
sir.
Usyk. All right.
For
Your name
Usyk.
is your name is Zero Cool.
Zero Cool.
All right.
Yeah, Zero Cool from this
All
week.
right. I got it, man. Anything else?
No, that's it. Shout out to the panel. You know, it's going to be a great fight weekend. And can't wait for September 17th. We've seen Bam and Canelo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Have a good
that's a
one.
good point. All right, take care, man. See ya. All right, let's take another phone call. 570. You're on the air. 570.
Oh, thank you so much for taking my call. Listen, I was just looking at the chat, and we got all these ass clowns in there. Oh, he's 27. This is why you don't have kids until you have a good job. Shut the fuck up. Listen, I make plenty of money. The reason we're in the spot we are in is because of ass clowns like that. Don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck about anything. I just wanted to call back in and say I stand with Ukraine. I changed my prediction. Usyk will win. I stand with all those people. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for the clarification. All right. So he's switching now. He's going with Slava Ukraini or whatever they say. Let me just change his prediction. Anybody else want to say something while I do this? Because it's taking a while here.
Well, while we're talking about that, we're talking about the weights. So I just checked it out and I put it here on the Discord. So when he fought Ruiz in the rematch, he came in at light 237. And when he fought Usyk, he came in at 240. Now I just checked because I remember him looking pretty lean against Pulev. He showed up at 241. So he knew he was going to be a classic boxer puncher. When he fought Klitschko, he was at 250. Now, I haven't checked the first Ruiz fight, but I think he was higher than that. So somebody in the chat said, hey, he should come in at Mr. Universe weight, 255 solid. Now, if he does that, he would have to expect a 6-round fight. And that if he can't make it, yeah.
I was just going to say the first Ruiz fight, it was 247.
237. Oh, the first one.
247. Yeah, 247. His highest, though, out of since becoming champ, right? He was actually 254 against Takam. So that tells you how big he can get. So 240, right? He's been hovering there around there. That's one of his lowest weights though. So I mean, obviously there was one lower, the Ruiz rematch, but outside of that, 240 is pretty low for him, on the lower side.
Who was he supposed to fight in the Takam fight? It was supposed to be somebody else, right? Anyone remember who it was?
Was it?
Hey, but while we think about that, I just remembered the Joseph Parker fight. He came in at 242.
Oh, is it what? No. I think I was thinking about the wrong fight. I don't know then about the Takam fight.
All right, let's take a phone call in the meantime. Shit, we lost him.
Yep.
Okay. We lost him. All right.
Well, against Parker, who was another quick guy, Joshua came in at 242. So that's usually when he's fighting quick guys or when he needs speed, he gets down to about 240. And when he fights guys like Klitschko and Takam, who he tries to bully or he intends to bully, he comes in at over that, around 250 minimum.
Right, so, I found who he was supposed to face. It was actually Pulev.
Huh.
But then that fell apart, and then, Takam came in.
Should have gotten rid of that guy a long time ago. But yeah, Joshua coming in. See, that's the thing, though. And I know I mentioned this before the Usyk fight, and people don't like to hear it, but that Ruiz rematch, he got lucky. Well, not lucky. I don't believe in luck. He was fortunate that Ruiz fucked up and came in even fatter than usual, because if you look at that fight, Joshua played it incredibly safe, doing the bare minimum to fight, a lot of clinching. By the mid rounds, he was losing his first win. And he did get his second win, but it wasn't that impressive. I mean, I don't know if he comes in at 230. In other words, if he comes any lower than 237, it's going to be unnatural for him. And I don't know if he'd actually look good doing that.
In the chat, Shadow Combat says that AJ debuted at 230.
Yeah, but that was how many years ago?
Exactly. How old was he?
2013? Almost 10 years, 9 years ago. I mean, that
basically
means AJ. AJ in the Povetkin fight weighed in at 246.5. So I reckon he'll come in a little lighter than that, maybe 242, something like that.
Yeah, well,
but
MMA for the first fight, AJ came in at 240.
In the first fight of what? The
The
Usyk fight?
Yeah, the Usyk fight.
Yes.
Okay, he came in at 240.
Yep.
So probably he come in the same weight as
Yeah.
the Povetkin fight. Probably
Oh.
246 then.
Mm.
Or because I think he has a little bit more muscle on him than he did before. He's a little bit more bigger than the last time around, but he still looks a little lean. So probably like 246, something like that. Probably a little lower or a little higher. I don't know.
I just don't see how AJ can win this fight, to be honest. And I watched Mr.
Oh, come on.
BDA's your
I
video,
don't.
Mr.
You
Oh
can't
my
say that,
goodness!
man.
Oh my
Like,
goodness! Here we go, Bucho. Here we
No. Listen, I watched Mr. BA's video. He was breaking down the mistakes that AJ made, and they were pretty basic mistakes sometimes. I was like, okay, well, let's say he manages to fix those mistakes now. He has Robert Garcia in his corner. Is that gonna change the outcome of the fight? Can that change? I don't even think that can change the outcome of the fight. That's how bad it is.
honestly, there aren't people like to think like huge differences need to be made between the first and second fight. Again, I keep on saying this, but this is just glossed over by most people. That first fight was only 2 rounds from being a draw officially on the scorecards. Big changes do not have to happen in order for AJ to get the dub or a bullshit draw.
Right.
Big changes do not have to happen. So really, we're talking about the real fight and the real changes that need to be made for AJ, right? That's what we're speculating right now. But in reality, that's not at all the case of what needs to happen. He needs to do slightly better. That's it.
All right.
But
He could come in boxing again, honestly. If he does slightly better boxing, which everyone is saying
That's
not to
not
do,
gonna
right?
happen.
Well, what do you mean?
You don't know that.
No, what do you
You
mean?
don't know
Hold
that.
on.
I know for a fact. I know for a fact. The reason I know
Well, either way, even if it's my point still remains true. Big differences do not need to be made because he's getting covered with the A side bullshit.
At the end of the day, let's look at it. Why would AJ take on Robert Garcia, who doesn't even train heavyweight, and then have him teach AJ how to like box or whatever? No, they're going in there to perfect AJ's old style, right? They're gonna bring AJ back to his old style, perfect it, because
Jimmy,
Robert Garcia is one of the best trainers when it comes to that style. He's one of the best trainers when it comes to body shots. Too.
I want to get Jimmy. Jimmy, what do you think about that statement? That hey, now he's training.
That's a big ask to change his style back in one fight in one camp. That's a big ask.
Yeah, but it's a big ask to Robert Garcia to teach AJ how to box.
But wait a minute, what's this going back to an old style? He's always boxed like this, Joshua. He's always been a boxer.
Exactly. They're just going to refine it because Robert Garcia is one of the best trainers at that style anyway.
But here's the thing, man. Here, what Joshua did in the first fight, this is why I picked Usyk to do it, because everyone's saying, well, he's going to be too big. Yeah, if you're big, your size is a factor. If you're going to pressure a guy and lean on him like a Fury guy does or something like that, that's never been Joshua. What you saw in the first fight has always been his style. He's a boxer puncher, and he thought he was going to be able to stand there and counter Usyk.
That's not AJ's style. That's false. Now you're spreading false narratives.
Well, okay, name me the fight where he fought differently.
Fight where he fought differently than the Klitschko fight. The Klitschko fight.
Yeah, he was counterpunching in that fight. He's always been a catch. He catches. Yeah, and
I get what MMA is saying. No. I get what MMA is saying. Like, look at the Carlos Takam fight, or the Povetkin fight. He fought on the inside. The first Ruiz fight. I mean, he's changed his style since getting stopped against Ruiz in the first match for sure. He's much more playing it safe, and he's kind of not a back foot bitch, but he sort of has that spirit now instilled into his game almost. He's scared.
The Pulev fight, he fought it. The Pulev fight, he spent sometimes on the inside. Once he saw that Pulev wasn't coming back with much, that's when he started spending a little time on the mid-range to get those vicious uppercuts. But he was still a boxer puncher in that fight.
Look, I understand what you're saying, BD, but at the end of the day, it's aggressive.
Hold on, excuse me. In the Klitschko fight, he was getting outboxed for long periods of the fight because he was trying to box with Klitschko and it wasn't working. It was only when he turned it on in certain spots that he was able to get him out of there. And he only did it in spots because that's the only thing he can do. He can only do it in spots. But we've never seen him do, all right, let me put my hands up and pressure a guy. Maybe, okay, Aldo mentioned Takam. Maybe Takam because there was such a size disparity. He spent a little bit more time down the mid-range trying to get his hooks off. But even then, you saw him, Takam getting low and all that, and Joshua looked bad in that fight. Even after the fight, he goes, well, you know, I didn't look my best yet. So he admitted that. So when it comes to stylistic matchups, okay, you want to go back to when he fights outgunned guys. Maybe he changed a different style there. But since he's been at the top level, he's a boxer-puncher.
No, since the Ruiz fight. I think the Ruiz fight has a lot to do with it. I don't think that. Now, obviously, yes, he is a boxer puncher, but he's aggressive with it too. Now, I think the Ruiz fight had a lot to play with it because after the Ruiz fight, it seems like he's just so afraid of being aggressive, and I think it's something maybe mentally or something. You know, but I think ever since the Ruiz fight, his style has changed, and hopefully Robert Garcia could bring back the old AJ. I think the old AJ has a better chance of being Usyk than the new AJ since the Ruiz first fight.
All right,
you know what?
Let's take some phone calls. Let's take some phone calls here. 562, you're on the air. 562, go ahead.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I totally agree with the guy I was just saying. If you look at the Joshua that fought Dillian White, you know, set up Povetkin for that big right hand, yeah, he was a bit more tentative, like, you know, not going at him as much as he got caught. The Joshua that tried to kill Dillian White with a bit of a smarter approach will do way better against Usyk. You know, when he fought Pulev, yeah, he knew Pulev is not the fighter he used to be. He completely outboxed him. He didn't have a puncher's chance. I think Robert Garcia is going to bring him some smart body shots and just how to avoid Usyk's tricks a bit more the way you can teach him.
All right, so you expect an aggressive AJ, basically.
Say again?
So you're expecting a very aggressive AJ?
Yeah, but a smart, aggressive AJ. I think I heard Robert Garcia say, I'm going to tell him what to do at the right moments and what not to do in between rounds. When to approach him and put him against the ropes and when not to. He said maybe we'll box with him a little bit like last time, and then we'll throw on the gas at the right time to get him against the ropes and try, you know. I'd be so surprised if they don't throw more body shots into this second time around, because that's the only way Usyk has been hurt in the past.
All right. So what's your name and what's your prediction?
Yeah, my name's Tom. I'm going to predict fourth round TKO by Joshua.
All right. AJ, fourth round TKO. Very impressive. All right. Well, listen, call back. Well, yeah, call back after the fight, all right?
All right, thanks.
All right,
good show, man.
All right. Interesting prediction. AJ by DKO fourth round. You never know.
That's a bold pick.
I mean, that's very bold. If he gets it right, well, he'll get all the praise he deserves. Another phone call. 407. 407. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. I don't think that training or changing trainers and all that, that's not going to work for Joshua. His most basic flaw is that he has the worst feet of any champion. He is so lead-footed. He cannot punch if he does not stand in front of you for 5 fucking seconds. So I feel like you think he's going to sit here and stand his ground and throw to the body? Not happening. Usyk's just going to step to the side like he did all first fight.
Well, what do you guys think? Is AJ too slow to implement that type of plan, going to the body and
his best punches on Usyk are when he was just throwing arm punches, and since he's a big guy, it still has an effect.
Well, what do you guys think on Discord? Jimmy, Gonzalo,
yeah,
go ahead.
Yes.
In my opinion, for some reason, I don't know why, but very few heavyweights get knocked out or hurt to the body. That's just my impression. I might be mistaken. It's not like I watched a ton of heavyweight fights in my life, but from what I saw compared to other guys. But hey, still, I mean, yeah, go to the body. Will it have an effect on Usyk? Hey, I don't know. I'll still try. Digging to the body with straight to the solar plexus and the shoulder hook to the liver. Write me down for Usyk 11-round KO, Bucho, when you get a chance.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, go
caller,
ahead, Jimmy.
let me just.
No, you're
caller
100% right about that, Gonzalo. Heavyweights do, on average, knock people out less with body shots. And it's because they have the power, usually, to put people out with head shots. It takes people, believe it or not, to go to the body. It's not a natural reaction. Your natural reaction when you fight someone is punch them in the face. And it takes, work to get at it like that, So.
Right.
Also, if you're a heavyweight going to the body, you're kind of opening your own head, and that's when you're probably going to get knocked out on a counter too.
Yeah,
I'm afraid of that.
Exactly. I was about to say that, and you're slow, and I don't know. Maybe that's why they don't go to the body. You gotta set it up to go to the body. You can't just like throw a body shot like that. You're opening yourself up. All right, caller. Let's get your prediction.
I'm gonna take Usyk by decision. I just don't think Joshua has the feet, or he's not going to be able to train it within how many months he's been with Garcia.
What's your name?
Swanky Tuna.
All right, nice name, Swanky Tuna. Usyk by decision. Usyk by decision. All right. All right. Thanks for the phone call. Call back again. All right.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Gonzalo,
I had some tuna last night with avocado. So fucking good.
Gonzalo, let's get your prediction.
Yeah, I'm chewing food, but hold on, let me spit it out.
I'll give you 2 minutes. I'll take another phone call, and you can give us your prediction after.
Okay, cool.
Let's take another phone call. 973, you're on the air. 973, please go ahead.
What's up, boys? So I'm going to give my prediction quick and then just give a thought on something and hang up and listen. But so I'm going to do my reverse psychology I always do with my picks. So just bear with me here. I think Usyk is going to pretty much put on another clear win performance. But as we've pointed out, Foster had it, 7 rounds to Usyk or something. And, you know what will happen. He'll get robbed. So Usyk will win the fight, but get robbed. It's my so AJ decision, split decision. And then the other thing, too, is AJ, people think he's coming in to brawl, but he's supposedly looking leaner, right? Mm-hmm. And remember, this is a guy who's used to getting things given to him. He was a pretty shitty person. He got picked up off the street or whatever, or picked out of a little. Listen. Or
this
little
has nothing to do with
club, right?
He's saying
to be put on the great
Guys, let him finish.
This has
let him
nothing to do
finish.
with boxing. This is ridiculous.
Let him
He's
finish.
speaking facts, though.
No,
let him finish. I'm gonna kick you out. Please let him finish. The caller has the floor.
If you listen to what I'm saying, it makes sense.
Go ahead.
This is a personal attack.
Caller, please finish.
He's right, though.
No,
caller, go ahead.
Okay. So since this hurts people's feelings, I'll say this first. I don't blame this guy for taking these opportunities. I would do the same thing. That's not my point. This is the point. He probably should have been in jail. He got taken out, right? Everybody knows he did not win that Olympic gold medal. Everybody knows that this guy gets, opportunities handed to him. I know he puts in hard work as well. That's not the point. He gets free retries with these rematch clauses. He said after the last fight, a couple more rounds, it's a draw. And then even one more round after that, it's a win. This guy needs to have the mentality that he's going to be given something for him to feel like he's going to win. So that's how you can tell if he's going to win or not, if he's going to do well or not this fight. If he feels like he's going to win. And he does. He thinks he's going to end it in 6 rounds. So he will do well enough
Listen.
to keep it close with Usyk.
What's your name? Because I need your name for the prediction.
Yeah. What's your name, clown?
Thane. Thane. AJ split decision win. Usyk round.
Okay. You live with your mom.
Wait, what's your name again? Sorry, didn't get it.
Yeah.
Ignore MMA for now.
Here we go.
What's your name again? Sorry.
Oh, wait. There was Thane. Thane. I live with my mom. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The guy's not being disrespectful, MMA. He's just giving his opinion.
No. He was being disrespectful. He brought up personal stuff, personal attacks.
What did I say that was not true, man? What did I say that was not true?
But you don't know either,
attacking
dude.
if
Why do you
it's
get
all
so
true?
personal?
You gotta take into account. MMA champ's the guy that defends Shakur Stevenson. So no matter what, no matter what the guy does, MMA champ will defend them. And if you attack,
okay.
it's a personal attack.
You're bringing a personal attack on me, right? First of all, BA, you're biased towards Mexican.
It's not a personal attack. That's
People in the chat,
true.
people in the
You
chat,
did
people
defend
in the
Shakur.
chat.
It was a
People
personal
hold on.
attack. So
People
let
in
me
the chat
respond,
are
please.
calling.
Can I respond?
All right, MMA.
Can I respond?
MMA. People in the chat are calling this caller AJ hater. Caller,
Yeah,
do you
it's
hate
true.
AJ?
I don't hate the guy. Listen. I hate the game. I don't hate him. I would do the same thing if I was in his position.
Listen, at the end of the day, right? You saying AJ had everything given to him. Let me look at this. AJ, right? He went to jail for selling marijuana. Then he came out of jail. Then wait, please let me finish. Then he came out of jail. Then his I think cousin or something, who's a security guard now, said, come to his box gym or whatever.
Told him to
And
go
that's
back
when
to the
he
gym. Right.
That's when he met Rob McCracken, right? And then that's when he became an amateur. So AJ, he won those fights himself.
Yada
He
yada
did it
yada,
himself.
dude.
All right. Well,
So,
listen, we gotta move.
you're
MMA.
saying that
MMA. We'll talk more about this later. MMA. We'll talk about this later. All right.
He won
All right.
a gold in his
MMA.
own
Somebody tell the MMA
Olympic.
to shut up.
He earned every
All
dollar
right.
he had.
Caller,
Like
thank you for
he's
calling in.
biography.
Call back after the fight. All right.
right?
Take care.
And then
I will do.
BJ
Be well, lad.
personally attacked me. First of all, BJ, listen,
Hey,
you're biased towards
hold
MMA,
on.
you gotta
Forget
calm down.
BDA. Let Rex talk to Rex. Rex, go ahead.
Rex. You're a clown. You're a bum.
Look at this
Stop
clown.
telling me.
Look, you are
You're a
what
bum.
weapons channel? You
You're
talking about the little girl. Now you're here hiding. Listen, your boy is getting knocked out.
You're
The big shit
a
idiot is a
beaner.
backward fish,
Stop playing.
just
You're
like your
a
girlfriend
Get
hating.
him, Rex.
Okay?
Get
Why are
him.
you ducking?
You're a bum.
Stop ducking.
You're a bum. You
Oh,
Mexican.
you see what happens, B-Day, when you put these guys on the ropes? They start running. They start running.
Oh,
They can't handle the pressure. Pressure gets to them.
Now. I'll call Trump
MMA.
right now. I'll call Trump right now.
MMA.
Why?
Can
That's my
I
uncle.
ask you something, man? Can I ask you
I'll
something,
call
MMA?
Trump right
MMA,
now.
calm
I'll
down.
call him.
Tell him that's my
MMA.
uncle.
Wait. I got a question for MMA. Can you stop speaking permanently in lowercase? Like, can you speak like a normal person?
I'll call
How?
Trump
How
right
can he
now.
do that,
Stop
Anderson,
playing.
when he can't read or count? How's he going to do that?
Listen, bro. Listen. Your mom had to throw you over the border, so stop playing.
Is that
Bro.
so?
Stop it, bro.
My
Stop
family
it, bro.
came here on a plane like a
You got
human.
dropped, and you hit your head on the border too.
No,
That's
it's
why
because
you're
you came
crazy.
here on a river
You hit
raft,
your head on the
okay?
border. That's why you're crazy. You hit your head on
Just
the
a
border.
banana
I'm gonna
boat.
call Trump right now.
Just a
All
banana
right.
boat
We're
rider.
gonna have to kick
Stop
some
playing
people
with me.
out.
That's my uncle.
I'm gonna call Trump.
Haitians being
call Trump on the
All
whole
right,
panel.
hold on.
I'm gonna call Trump
Wait,
on the whole
weren't
panel. Stop
Haitians
You
being
can't
whipped
handle
at
his
the border?
oxen fire MMA. Look, he ducked me. You see?
All right. We got too many people here, man. We can't do this. We got phone calls. We're gonna finish with the phone calls, then we got a circus going. 570, you're on the air. 570.
All right, I got it. Is this MMA guy? Is he playing a bit? You know, because every time I listen to you guys and you guys do a great show, it's guys like that. It's like this LDBC bullshit. Do they honestly believe the shit they say, or are you just so fucking deluded and in a different reality? I don't understand.
I don't either.
Both.
That's why
It's both.
Yeah, we're doing this. We're doing a social experiment, trying to find out here. But holy shit, I hear a lot of background noise, man.
My bad. I'm sorry. I'm driving. I just had to say that. And also, I didn't want to. I was just bullshitting about the stand with Ukraine. Obviously, there's biolabs there and bullshit. It's going to be AJ by robbery. So I'll hang up and listen.
All right, thanks for calling. Take care. Let me change his prediction later and say at robbery there. Let's take another phone call. 602, you're on the air. 602, please go ahead.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Yo, what's on your mind?
So I got my prediction is AJ by knockout round 7 through 12.
Okay, that's all
That's
right.
all I gotta say.
What's your name?
Canela.
Canela. And you're saying AJ by stoppage after 7.
Yeah.
What about more specific, Bucho?
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
you
yeah.
not
You're
give more
right.
specific?
You're right. We gotta get specific, more specific. Please be more specific.
All right. AJ by knockout, round number 10.
All right. Why do you think this is gonna happen? Do you think he's gonna make adjustments and or what? Usyk's gonna be.
He's gonna hurt Usyk to the body,
Mm-hmm.
take him down a little bit, and stop him.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Anything else you want to say?
No, that's all.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks for calling. Call back after the fight. Take care.
Ucho, before you get to the next calls, man, did
Yeah.
he say Canela?
Yeah.
Okay, and second of all, did you read the super chats? There's 2 super chats there.
2 super chats. Yeah, there was one
Well, I
super
can read them
chat.
if you want. Yeah,
Yeah,
I got
please
them.
read them. Please read them.
All right, shout out to Texas Bulldog for his contribution with the super chat. He says, "Wish me luck, guys. Last fight on ×8 parlay, Usyk equal 230 buckaroos." Oh, so he's putting his money. You see, Texas Bulldog puts his money where his mouth is. That's good. That's good. Shout out to Texas Bulldog. Thank you for your contribution. Hope you make Boku Mula on Saturday. And shout out to Official Scorecard Boxing, who says MMA was smuggled into the U.S. by the Clintons for their pizza parties. Oh, come on.
Yeah,
Jesus
thanks
Christ.
to the Clinton Foundation. Look up the Clinton Foundation.
Oh.
But yeah, Gonzalo, you there? Did you finish eating?
Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna make an adjustment since this is the last call. I'm gonna say Usyk 9th round stoppage. He don't got no time to spare. He can't leave it where he gives AJ an opportunity to make it to the bell because they can give it to AJ. So I'm just gonna say Usyk goes for the kill. He lands one of them punches that Andy Ruiz landed, and he just fucking takes this dude out. Free for the Ukrainian people on the Ukrainian TV. So yeah, he's gonna put on a show.
9th?
9 round stoppage.
Wow.
Okay.
TKO.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to change my prediction to because Gonzalo is the real Nostradamus. Forget Teofimo Lopez Sr. Gonzalo is so he's making me think now, man. He's making me think.
I was being diplomatic and just going to unanimous decision, playing it safe. Gonzalo's swinging for the fences, man. Good for you, bro.
Yeah, these guys have a good point. It's like Canelo, you know, he made it close, and when you make, there's a way where you can win rounds, and if you're the A side, they're gonna give it to you. He didn't make it that, but you know, one more round that Canelo wins, and it's a draw. And this is nothing against Canelo, but it is something against the establishment in the sense that you know that the A side is highly, he's more benefited than the other guys.
Can I ask you guys a question, you two, Gonzalo? Who do you think, what is it going to be? Do you think it'll be a pro Joshua crowd, or do you think it'll be a pro? Yeah. I know, and usually they're a quieter crowd. The Saudis, they don't usually go bananas. But do you think who do you think they'll be pulling for there? Because we always know that affects judges.
Sorry, AJ.
Okay.
I think the UK fan base, they're gonna travel, they're gonna support, and I think UK fans want a Fury AJ fight. So, yeah.
You know what, man? We were talking about that good point about how, because in the first fight, a lot of people predicted, hey, if it's a close fight, they're giving it to Joshua. I was surprised that they did give it to Usyk because I thought it was still a highly competitive fight where they could have made it was a draw. That was a draw. You know what I mean? They wouldn't have admitted that he lost most of them. So now, what can Joshua do, though, to make it closer, defensively speaking? Because if he stands in front of Usyk, I think he gets caught unless he, comes in with a better guard and better head movement, which I don't know if he can do or if he's been working on that. And I don't know if Garcia can do. I can expect Garcia maybe to tighten up the defense with parrying and all that, like he had with his brother Mikey, and guard-wise, you know, Brandon Rios had a good guard. Now, on the other hand, the B side would be, what if he starts running and he makes Usyk try to catch up with him? That would prevent Usyk from landing much, and just by doing that, maybe that's enough for the judges to give him the benefit of the doubt and give him a decision. What do you guys think?
Well, BDA, I went back earlier today, and I watched a bunch of Joshua stuff just to see what he could physically do. Because you can say, "Oh, this is what I'd want him to do," but if the fighter doesn't have the capability or the physical attributes to do it, then it's all a fairy tale. But there's something he could definitely do because he's a good counterpuncher. The catch. He used to catch pretty good when he was younger. That's something they could implement more, like high guard, turn that hand just a little bit more towards Usyk to catch a punch. Because when you catch somebody's punch, when you catch their jab, it screws you up. You're halfway through your punch and it stops there. It sets everything off just a little. Trust me, I hate it when somebody would catch my punch. Fucking hated it. That was like the worst thing if somebody decides, because then on top of that, it tells you the time in you. But you catch his punch, boom, and you hit it just about the same time. And I think I would try to implement that in the beginning when he's fresh. Try to catch one of his jabs and throw over the top right at his Adam's apple. Don't go for his head. Go for his collarbones.
That's an excellent point, Jimmy. That is an excellent. If he can do that, yeah, because if you watch the first fight, he had his guard pretty open. He was trying to parry shots and counter that way, but he wasn't trying to block.
Exactly. Lean back, head up, almost a Garcia type stance, right? Or a Canelo stance, right? He palms up a little, left hand palm kind of facing him to quick catch. And like a Venus flytrap, the minute you feel leather touch that outside glove, throw. Just throw with the right hand. Hoof right behind it. It'll hide your right, and it'll fucking just go for the Adam's apple type area. But then when you're fresh and he's got good counter punch, that's what I would try to do with him. I'd be working with that like nonstop. You feel something touch that glove, throw. Because then you already know your distance. You work on your distance with them. Because that's something you're not going to have to add footwork. You're not going to have to add, nuances of like, you do a couple of feints, and then this is what you're going to do. You're going to catch him. No. Anytime this dude tries to throw a jab at you, try to catch that shit. And what it does, if you start catching somebody's jab, they stop throwing it. Because I'm telling you, it sucks to get your punches caught. Canelo's excellent at it. And he hits you hard. He follows it. He's one of the guys doing it that way. But anyways, I'm done on that.
That brings us to another point, though. Then,
well, I gotta take some phone calls, man.
Oh shit! Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because we gotta take the phone calls, and I gotta read a super chat here from Vladdy V. Thank you for your contribution. He says MMA lost his remaining brain cells on that shit sense of Wakanda. Usyk 10th round. Usyk 10th round. Two coaches were telling him to hold back during the first fight. Usyk 10th round. Coaches were telling him to hold back during the first fight. Sorry. Were they telling him to hold back in the first fight? Is that what you're trying to say? I don't know, man.
That's what I mentioned earlier too. That's I heard somebody say. I'm glad he's confirming that. That indeed they did tell him, hey man, take it back and just don't go for it.
What the fuck?
Well, they know exactly how much energy he needs over those 12 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
They work real hard at that, and they know his output, how much he's moving. They probably told him, hey, take it down. You're not going to have the same power we need you to have in the later rounds.
Good point.
Shows you they're really paying attention.
Yep, it's true. Let's take a phone call.
It's against these guys with better footwork that Joshua has struggled, even with Parker. Pretty mediocre across the board, but maybe what he did have going for him, he was a little bit more athletic, smaller, heavyweight more on the smaller side.
Oh.
And Usyk didn't do much. Sorry. Joshua didn't do much, and Parker didn't do much. But you can see in Joshua's face that he was struggling to gain control of the fight, and it was pretty close. It was pretty boring. And I think Usyk has comparable feet to Parker, even better.
All right. Hold on, guys. We got to take a phone call here. Phone call 505. You're on the air, 505. Please go ahead.
Hello. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. Give us
You
a
hear me?
prediction. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, that's good. I'm thinking AJ is going to get too aggressive. He has to. He has no other choice. And so when he does, obviously it's going to keep him more open, too. And I'm sure Usyk and his team know that. And they're just going to take advantage of it the more aggressive he gets. And then the only other choice he has is to get back in his shell and try to go the distance. And he'll just be getting outboxed like the last time. So I'm calling for, this is Hyperspaz, by the way. I'm calling Usyk round 8. Knockout.
All right, Hyperspaz. Usyk.
You know what? You can't use the word spastic anymore. It's considered ableist or whatever they call it.
What's the word now? What do we call it?
Spaz.
Oh, you can't use spaz?
Spastic. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but what's the politically correct word? Anyways,
that's a question. I don't know.
So sorry,
Epileptic?
you said.
I don't know.
All right.
Convulsive movements.
So you said Usyk by what decision?
No, eighth round
no,
stoppage.
round 8 knockout.
He said.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think AJ's going to have to leave himself too open if he's getting aggressive. Everyone says he has to get more aggressive, but no one brings up the fact that the more aggressive he gets, the more open he's going to leave himself too to get countered. And I'm sure they got counters that they've been working on the whole time, so that he's going to make them pay. You know, that's what I think.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's
that's-
gonna be open up. Yeah, Jimmy.
No, that is a good point. But
Yeah, it
you
should be
can
a good
also
fight,
teach
though,
a
man.
fighter
I'm
controlled
excited about it.
aggression. You know what I mean? You can be more aggressive in the things you do. And I thought again, I think I agree with you. He's going to, obviously, you open yourself up to bring more, you're going to catch more. So he seemed a little shy. He didn't seem like, let me ask you guys, did it seem to you like he was the one fighting the smaller guy? Like he fought timid. He didn't fight like he was fighting like a guy who could, one shot knockout power. Unless he just doesn't have the full confidence in his, bid. I don't know.
He looked like he was waiting for that shot. He's like, eventually I'm gonna catch him, but he could never catch because he never even tried. And he was very hesitant. Absolutely.
Some people never bounce back from getting put down, and losing by knockout.
It could be that.
And like Gonzalo's right about the footwork. Listen, that's Usyk's strong point. And I hate saying things like this because then you sound like one of those jackasses, like the smug. It's not the case. But anybody else on here, anybody else who's done any ring time, any sparring, will tell you footwork is somebody with great footwork is so hard to fucking fight, and it takes so much more energy. You know what I mean? And Usyk's great at it. He's good and he knows his distance. He's a hard guy to lay on you. He's got a high ring IQ. It's a big ass. Listen, Anthony, he's taking on everybody. Props to him. Look at other heavyweights out there. I mean, you look at this kid. This kid's fought them all. He's fought Klitschko. He's fighting him the second time. So I say good on him. He's got enough money in the bank, so it's not like he's going to be sucking dick for beer money.
That's true. Caller, anything else?
No, that's it. Thanks a lot. You guys have a good one.
All right, take care.
Take it easy, brother. Totally forgot there was a caller on there. Sorry
Don't
about
worry,
that.
man. We're gonna take another phone call now. 817, you're on the air. 817.
Yo, what's up? It's Shazar. You guys hear me?
Yep. What's up, man?
What's up? Yo, so I'm a little worried about this fight. I think if the fix is in my opinion, I think there's a reason they're having it in Saudi Arabia. Those dudes are fucking super corrupt. DAZN is dumping a shit ton of money into AJ. They're like partnered with them. They're like releasing documentaries on him. So they're banking for AJ to win, right? I think Usyk's a smart dude. He knows this, so I think that's why he's been bulking up. Like you hear all his sparring partners saying that he's like going for the knockout. If Usyk doesn't knock this dude out, he's gonna get robbed hard. So my official prediction is Usyk late knockout. But I'm telling you guys, if he doesn't knock him out, it's gonna be a robbery.
All right, I'm writing it down. Late stoppage for Usyk, but you expect a robbery, and I didn't even. Yeah, you're right. They're making documentaries as well. Nah, man, I have a bad.
The Saudis are corrupt as hell, man, and they're really buddy with the Russians, so they don't give a shit about Ukraine or Usyk, man. The fix is in, man. If he doesn't stop him, it's gonna piss a lot of people off. It's gonna be worse than the way they try to rob with the Canelo fight, the way they try to rob Bivol.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else?
No, that's it, man.
All right. Well, call back next time. All right. Take care.
Hey, good to hear from Cesar again. That we hadn't heard from him in a while.
Yeah, Cesar had been missing in action. He's back. All right. Let's take another phone call. 301. You're on the air. 301.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yo, what's up? What's up?
It's a very sober Irish Andre Ward coming in. Haven't been on for a while.
Tony boy.
I wanted to give my thoughts.
Yeah, you need a drink. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I think Usyk is going to get a late stoppage here. I'm predicting around 10th round. I actually think like as tactics go, I see it kind of the opposite the way Jimmy sees it. I think that Joshua's only chance is to go on the front foot, which is something he's never done in his whole life because his trainer taught him how to stay on his back foot his whole time. I don't think he can catch and shoot because he tried to do that the entirety of the first fight, and the reason he can't do that is because that requires anticipation. And every time he tried to anticipate Usyk's left hand coming, he would guess wrong and get hit by it, right? I think BDA did like a great breakdown where he saw that third round punch. He hit him clean and wobbled him. And I think it comes down to mentality more than tactics. Like I think Joshua, he gave this quote after the Klitschko fight where he told his trainer he never wanted to go through that again. He said like he felt like he had to fight through hell, and he never wanted to go through that again. Which just tells me he doesn't have.
Yeah, you're breaking up, Irish. Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit there.
Is this better?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Now you're breaking up.
Yeah. All I'm saying is,
Jesus.
I'm breaking up again.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with your phone. Anyways, man, listen. Call back later if you want. I don't know, something's wrong with your phone. Well, we get the point. AJ is not the same, man. He might not be the same after that Ruiz fight, like the Klitschko, like you were saying.
Yeah, I think it's just the Klitschko fight. He doesn't want to fight instinct anymore. He doesn't want to press anymore. Anyway, yeah. Usyk.
Well, Paulo, what do you think he can do to win? What would you implement? What would you tell him to do?
Yeah, I guess you didn't hear it. What I was saying, Jimmy, is I don't think that he can catch and shoot. I don't think he can stay on the back foot. He has to go on the front foot and try to get as many left hooks to the body. I noticed, I think, in the 6th round, he was catching Usyk with like a lunging step and left hook, which shows you he's athletic enough and has enough speed and footwork to get to Usyk. And if he can land that consistently, he can break him down. He can also set him up for that right uppercut by throwing a right hand, like a looping right hand to the body. That's an underrated punch against a southpaw. That's one of Sugar Ray Leonard's favorite punches.
I can't hear him.
Yeah. All right, Irish, you're really breaking up, but thanks for calling, all right? Call back again next.
Well, that sucks. Okay.
Yeah. Take care, man. Yeah, sorry about that. He has issues with his phone, but we got his prediction, so that's good. Let's.
How many more phone calls we got?
We got one more. Please state your name and your prediction. 956. You're on there. 956.
Yeah, Lorenzo. My name is Lorenzo, and my prediction, I got Usyk by late TKO. I feel like he's gonna go for this time. And listen, Anthony Joshua, he has all the tools to beat Usyk, but he just can't put it all together on the same night. You know, Joshua has like a lot of like confidence issues. Like he has a lot of issues, man. He has no confidence at all. He overthinks too much. He's too soft to beat Usyk. He has all the talent to beat him, but he's just too soft to beat Usyk. And I do feel like Robert will give him a game plan to come forward. I think it's gonna play in the Usyk's hands. I think in this fight you're gonna see Usyk land a lot of more counters this time. I think AJ is gonna shell up and he's gonna probably quit late. Probably gonna quit late. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens, man. I really think there's gonna be something weird that's gonna happen though. The fix is in. Are you afraid of the fix?
And
I'm not afraid.
Bucho,
I don't really care who wins, so I don't really care about the fix. But no, man. I know a lot of people are very like conspiracy theorists, you know, in this boxing stuff, and I really feel like boxing, it's not the cleanest sport, but it's not as dirty as a lot of people make it out to seem. And I really feel like this fight is genuine. I really feel like Usyk will get a clean decision or just a fair fight again, just like the first fight, you know.
All right. Well, thanks for calling. All right, call back after the fight. All right, take care. All right, we got his prediction and we got a super chat. Let's go to the super chat. Plutonium Loach. I don't know how you pronounce that. Dante's Cheeseburger Nation. Bias Ego, Aki Garbage TV are secretly attending those Dubai porta potties, getting their backs blown out by them rich dudes. So,
oh my goodness gracious.
Oh, Jesus.
I wouldn't be surprised. They're prostitutes. They prostitute themselves for money. And yeah, that's the type of lifestyle that they probably engage in. You know what I mean?
Hey, Bucho,
Yes.
speaking of degenerates, we got two degenerates, John Gonzalez and the Quags. They're asking you to put them down for Usyk by 11th round TKO.
All right.
I think we're leaning heavily towards Usyk. I mean, I think two people have gone with Joshua, right?
Well, even the people, I think two people said Usyk by decision, but they're going to give it to Joshua.
Right.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, shit, I'm turning to him, Mecha. Look, when it comes to the I want to see how Usyk handles those body shots.
11.
He's gonna get hit downstairs, and these are normal body shots. These are heavyweight body shots. He felt them the first time. So if Joshua goes, because Joshua started getting to him to the body in the, I believe, the 7th and 8th. What happens if he's landing those body shots early on? Can he take away Usyk's second win? Because if he takes away that second win, that's a key. That's key right there, man.
Oh, of course, taking his legs away. Absolutely. It's just, will he have the ability to get them with power on them? And even if you hit far away, because the problem, too, when you throw a body shot from distance, it gives your opponent longer time to flex their muscle and catch it. It's when you're breathing. When a body shot really hurts you is when you're not fucking flexing and you're breathing out. Usually is the worst one. And they just catch you. And it's just brutal. But you can, you know what I mean? It's the reason why you do sit-ups. So you want to be in close. Body's work is always the most effective when you're in the dude's grill.
All right. Timothy Figueroa.
And maybe if Joshua starts going too much to the body and Usyk starts picking up on those cues, he's going to throw that overhand right. You know, he's throwing this overhand right where he's turning into the punch. Man, and he's really turning people's necks. I don't know quite how to explain it, but you guys seen that punch that I'm talking about? It's not like a hook. He's like the
talking about
Canelo
AJ
punch.
or
He gets
Usyk?
up on,
Usyk.
Usyk gets
okay.
on your chest and he turns a punch over where he's throwing like this whipping punch. When he's turning, he's turning the elbow, and he's closed up, just kind of like a Canelo punch, and he's turning your neck when he's landing that punch.
Gonzalez, somebody I know
lead
called
hook,
it.
right?
Yeah, somebody called it a Ukrainian bolo. That's what they called it. It was in a Twitter thread. Yeah, Ukrainian bolo punch.
You know how you saw how Yohimo Kampa when the referee stepped in, it's kind of like those punches. He's close to you and he's basically just turning the forearm over and whipping you, boom, and turning your neck over.
Yep.
Well, you know what? That's the interesting thing about the power there, because one of the reasons when we were analyzing Usyk's power before the first fight, you know, one thing I like to point out was that one of the reasons why Usyk doesn't knock a lot of people out at cruiserweight was because he was fighting like Winky Wright. The legs are always very, very straight. He doesn't bend them when he's throwing the shots. But then you see instances of his punching power, like when he knocked the belly out cold, or when he was snapping Joyce's head back and Junior Fast's head back in the WESB. Yeah, and those were two bigger guys, way bigger guys. So he does have power, but it's just sometimes he's popping guys and then getting out of the way, and he's not bending his knees, or not bending at the knees. So that's why you don't usually see a lot of power from him. But when he does throw, like, he is a guy that if he wanted to, I think he could be doing more damage. It's just that his game is let me touch it. Right, wear you down with the engine, not too much with one single shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, listen to this. Go ahead, Aldo.
I was just gonna say, people. I was kind of gone for a little bit, so I don't know what everyone said. But one thing I'm noticing, though, everyone's saying go to the body, right? It poses openings depending on how Usyk reacts to these body shots. Because if he can maintain his footwork, right, I do see there being openings to the head against AJ if he starts spamming body shots for no reason. You know, he's the bigger guy and he's coming in close to the smaller guy. Depending on how Usyk reacts, like if he just shells up and stays still, right, I see a lot of issues there and a lot of success for AJ, but I don't believe that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to be on his feet all the time. It's going to be hard for AJ. Somebody said earlier, AJ, he needs to like stay still, and for you to stay still to really get off. I think the footwork is still just a massive issue for AJ to handle.
And by the way, Shadow Combat in the chat says it's about weight transitioning, not bending the knees, and he puts a laugh emoji there. Well, you can't transition properly if you're not bending at the knees. If your legs are straight, you're not gonna be able to transition the weight as much. I mean, try it out right now. Stand up like Winky Wright, like a mummy, with your legs as straight as, well, not as straight as possible, but straighter than you would normally do. And you're gonna see you're not gonna be able to transfer that much power. But if you bend the knees, it's like when you throw a baseball. Do you throw a baseball with your fucking legs straight, or do you throw it by bending at some point?
Same thing when you swing a baseball bat, dude. Right at the end of the swing, a lot of guys' front knee is touching the ground. You know, their back knee rather, because they, you know what I mean, as they go into spin. Because the power comes from your midsection and your waist. That's your power plant, and through your lats. That's where your power from your punches come.
Hey guys, I'm looking at the odds here, and Usyk is a 2-1 favorite. Joshua is a 1.7 underdog, and then this is interesting though. Joshua by decision, 8.5 to 1.
Wait a minute.
That's a good fucking bet.
What about Usyk's decision?
That's pretty wide.
That's a good fucking bet because the robbery we were talking about.
What are the odds for an Usyk decision? What are those odds?
1.87. So almost 2.
Really? That's kind of surprising, man.
Hey, I'm gonna look him up, but I'm curious. What were the odds in the first fight?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think AJ was the favorite.
Yeah,
for
AJ
sure.
was the favorite. Yeah. But 8.5, guys, man, put some money on that. I mean, I don't.
That's a good bet.
The fix is in. Put some money in it. If you believe that.
The odds. I mean, I don't know. Fuck! It's asking me. Okay, hold on a second. The odds for the first fight were. Fuck! It doesn't say. All right, keep going. I'll find it.
Oh fuck! I'm still on. I mean,
I just found it.
Yeah.
Didn't some sites have it for Usyk too? I thought
it was 2-1 Joshua. So it's reversed now.
It's reversed. All right.
Yep.
And then
we went against Vegas last time.
Hey, by the way, Usyk. Sorry, Joshua by stoppage 2.6 to 1. Usyk 1.87 again, almost 2. 1.87 and 2.6.
Yeah, unless he gets injured, I don't see him winning a decision unless Usyk gets injured.
Well, see, here's the deal.
What about a robbery?
Exactly.
I think that's what most of us are sort of alluding to with the AJ decision.
I just never predicted. I mean, they're out there. They're so often they're out there. You know what I mean? Whether it happens, it happens. But we'll know who really won. You know, it could be a robbery, but we'll know who won the fight. It still sucks for them and everything else it entails. It'll just mean a third payday of obscene, life-changing money. You know what I mean?
You think there's a trilogy? I'm not sure if there would be.
No,
if there was a robbery, I think there would be. I think that Usyk would demand it, and I think the other belts. If it was robbery bad enough, the sanctioned bodies usually get involved, and they say, "Yeah, run that shit back." That was, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, so yeah, and then because it's just crazy money. But I just want to say that also plays into this. For people trying to say that this isn't the biggest fight, that if they made the Spence Crawford fight, no disrespect, Crawford, he's one of my guys, but get the fuck out of here, dude. Nobody in Australia. Look at. If that was the case, this fight would be made because somebody in Saudi Arabia, some fucking oil baron would fucking just, you know, say, here's a check. Make the fight. We're having it in my backyard. Like, if it was that kind of fight. It just doesn't have the attention worldwide. Yeah. Nobody's looking even to put up the money to fucking finance it. Never mind build a stadium or pay them life-altering money. Again, it's just you keep saying a false narrative over and over again. You just get certain knuckleheads who believe it.
Yeah, some people are gonna say that.
But anyways,
the Saudis are just starting to get into boxing, you know, and so they're gonna start with a heavyweight.
Is the money real? Isn't that what they always say,
exactly.
Bucho? Is the money real?
Is the money-
Fuck does that mean?
Nice.
It either
The Saudis
the
are
check
getting
goes
the-
through or doesn't.
The Saudis are getting their claws in everything, man. They set up a few Habib fights as well. The upcoming UFC, the huge UFC event, Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev. That's going to be in Abu Dhabi as well. They're getting their hands in all combat sports.
Yes,
sports in general, really.
It's only Eddie Hearn really who's making it happen because Bob tried at one point and he couldn't land that fucking Saudi money.
Because
so Hearn's got a good working relationship over there with them.
Yeah,
this type of event. Oh, sorry.
Saudi Arabia. The thing is that they're trying to diversify their economy, right? It's all based on oil. So there's, I'm starting to see these commercials of come visit Saudi Arabia. They want to make it like a tourist attraction place. So yeah, that obviously they're trying to get all these sports events and music events, and yeah.
I wanted to ask: is it the Royals who are fronting the money for this fight?
What?
Well, if it's the government involved, it is the Royals because the royal family runs the government. So yeah.
Okay, I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking about the British royal family. I was like, what the fuck? No.
For this type of event, you know how people are always talking about who's going to front the side fee and all that. For these guys, this is peanuts, right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, they look like.
Yeah, dude, the second cousins are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah, they're billionaires, dude, like billionaires.
When you
it's crazy. I mean,
golden
put it this way, just I just saw the fucking Saudi family arsenal. Dude, they got AK-47s they pay $70,000 for because it's got the rarest woods and fucking jewels on them. And they can't shoot them because they'd melt all that shit off, so they just keep them in cases. But they spend it, so they have that silly money. You know what I mean? That retard money. You don't even worry about it. Yeah.
They got cars made of gold.
Yeah, a toilet made out of gold. They're like cartels. Actually, richer than cartels, probably. I don't know. What's
yeah, I just Googled it. I'm not sure how true this is, but these are the type of numbers being thrown around. A random TRT world. Saudi royal families, 1.4 trillion wealth and lavish spending. That's the type of money we're talking about here. Massive, massive amounts. And if it's not trillions, it's multi-billions.
So that's what I'm saying, right? So when everyone's always haggling over, a $200 million site or $100 million site fee, whatever it might be for Mayweather, Pacquiao, the biggest fight of all time, these guys could have probably held that in Saudi Arabia, right? Or does Vegas always win? But okay, so
So
that's what I was going to ask. Yeah,
it's always Vegas because of the site fees. But think about that. If that, just to cover the purses, you figure they want $10 million a piece. Let's just be honest. Spence Crawford, Saudi, that would be nothing. $20 million. Here you go. You know what I mean? They'd write that off or whatever they do. They print it all themselves. They run they make the money from the oil. Obviously, their money literally flows from the earth, so they don't care.
That's what I do. I just write it off all the time. Just spend and just write it off. That's what people should do. Just write it off.
I'm still looking at this bet, the 8.5. I'm still looking at this bet at 8.5. Like seriously, man, that's a pretty good. I don't understand. Don't these odd makers factor in who the favorite is and the possibility of a robbery? I don't get it because this doesn't make fucking sense. AJ by decision 8.5. I just find it hard to believe, though.
I think it's AJ going to the distance and getting some sort of a wacko decision is more likely than him actually. I mean, I can see him. You know what the percentage I can see? For Joshua, maybe he doesn't knock Usyk out cold, but what I could see is him wobbling Usyk and then having him on the ropes, and the referee as soon as AJ throws more than 4 shots, whether they land or not, the ref steps in. I mean, we just saw it this last week with Lopez Campa. Nobody really complained.
Yep.
So, I mean,
that was a quick stoppage.
I think they're more ruthless over there. And going back to the robbery, BDA, it's one of those things where the laws are different over there. These fucking judges, they rob Usyk and fucking, they might not walk out with their fucking hands. They might get their hands chopped off because they got different laws over there.
All right, man.
But don't they use international judges?
Exactly,
and they'll probably,
Jimmy.
I doubt they'll.
Exactly. It's not going to be fucking.
They're going to use international judges. Even the referee isn't going to be from Saudi Arabia.
Exactly.
Because I mean, do they have a fucking a referee there that can handle that level of fight? Probably not.
Well, but
I'm
it's
just
still
saying it
the
would have to
judge
be
is like a
somebody.
Brittany Griner, no? They're gonna judge
Yeah,
you by their
yeah.
laws.
Well, meaning it would be easier to get away with fixing a fight. Like you wouldn't have to worry about cops coming down on you. It's not like their police are going to worry about it. Is what you're saying? I mean, they could do the fix here in England. Get the right people involved. Because it's not going to be Saudi people. They'll just turn a blind eye.
Yeah, it's not Saudi Arabian judges, but there is a big fight with Fury and AJ. Sorry, Fury and AJ. Yeah, Fury and AJ. I'm saying I need more coffee. Fury and AJ is a big fight, all right? And the fix could be in, guys. I don't understand this 8-1, 8.5 to 1. Guys, you got to bet on it. Actually, I shouldn't say that on the internet. I'm personally going to place a bet on this, and that's my opinion. You guys can do whatever you want. But holy crap.
Well, Bucho, remember when I said the other day it could be, and I think you mentioned, you talked on it, it could be something as simple as talking with a DAZN representative, talking with the judges, because they're the ones who are going to get the judge to call them on the phone. Hey, you're going to do the fight? Yeah. Something simple as a question posed can kind of tell somebody like, so how do you like working with DAZN? How do you like working with us? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, because we feel we have a good relationship. We have good things planned. Hey, have a good one. Hang up the phone. Then you're like, okay, we have big things planned. They go to their website. They see they're pushing Joshua, and they see this, pay their judges well, right? You never know. That's what I mean. It's not always an envelope under the table. Some dudes are just greedy, horrible people, and if they think they can get more gigs, they're gonna fucking go a certain way, and that's what I mean. That's what I mean by corruption. It isn't always just
Jimmy. I think
you know
that's
what I
what
mean, like
happened
people being
with
paid.
Jimmy. I think
Yes,
that's
brother.
what happened with Kenny Bayless. I don't think he
90 seconds.
I don't think he got a bag of money or something when he was refereeing Floyd fights.
No, he just got a bunch of girls giving him smokers at the VIP room when he fucking went to Vegas. Get the treatment, at the Floyd Hotel at the MGM. So
exactly.
That's probably all it took.
But he knows how it works. If he wants to keep on, if he wanted to keep on refereeing these big fights, these Floyd fights, well, he has to favor Floyd. That's basically what
it's his style, right? I mean, that was always his style. Like he doesn't like inside fighting. He doesn't like any of that shit. You know what I mean? So he's very quick to step in, which favors Floyd's style.
And Floyd probably also called them up. He tells the commission, "Hey, listen, I want Kenny Bayless as the referee." Listen, Floyd even called up Kenny Bayless when he fought that Japanese guy in an exhibition fight in Japan. Right, so for that fight, he had to call in Kenny Bayless to just make sure everything goes okay. For sure, he was calling Kenny Bayless out throughout his fucking career. I mean, come on, this is how it works. But anyways, in the chat, no, we're not using Discord, people. We're using the phone lines, and please hit the like button. And subscribe to the channel. We have Pete here. Pete, go ahead.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Loud and clear.
What's up, Pete?
Mender.
What's happening, boys?
Well, we're taking down the predictions here. Give us your prediction.
Oh, fuck.
Having some fun.
Can't escape it.
You
can't run.
I take Usyk in a decision.
All right. Playing it safe.
Is that safe?
Oh, see now,
it's fucking safe,
now I
man.
gotta
Come on,
change my prediction.
Yeah, now
It's a
it's
pretty
not
even
gonna
fight
happen.
to me. I mean,
He's gonna fucking Pete's ruining it. Now for sure something's gonna happen.
What
For
happened?
Sure. Hey Pete, seriously, what do you think about this bet though? AJ wins by decision 8.5 to 1.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess the common belief is that unless he knocks him out, he's not going to win just because of the output. Which I get that. 8.5 to 1. I don't even know if that's long enough odds. You foresee him outboxing Usyk to a decision?
No, but I can see that the fix is in. Like Aldo said, AJ only has to make this fight a little bit closer than the first time, and then it's maybe a draw or AJ wins.
Okay, but So what were the cards from the first fight? Were they out of whack? I didn't think they were out of whack, were they?
7-5, 8-4, 9-3.
It's fair.
That was fair? You think that fight was 7-5 Usyk only?
No, I think it was fair. In other words, I think it's reasonable to think that one judge sitting at one angle might score it 7-5. I mean, I'm not naive, but I'll just caution you on one thing, man. Our view, the way we're watching these fights, is as good as it gets. Probably better than any spectator, and definitely better than any judge. You know, so
true.
I'm just saying.
That the viewpoint though, that's a bit like maybe in a close fight, but that fight wasn't close. Like just because you're in one spot fixed, right? Sure, you won't get to see every single punch landing, but it's not like they were fighting on one side of the ring. There was constant movement throughout the fight from Usyk and AJ. They were constantly circling around. You can see which shots land. You see which man is getting backed up and hurt and stunned multiple times. It's AJ getting stunned. I mean, it's kind of hard to say.
Those fights would probably be harder to score, like these, how do you want to call it, these Nakatani, like these 126 pounders that are constantly fucking zooming around, and they're never like where the cameras are changing constantly. Corner camera, wide shot, corner camera, wide shot. The referee's in the way. Corner camera, wide shot. It's like they're constantly revolving like that. Those are harder to score. So yeah, normally heavyweight fights should be easier to score because of the lower output, or because of just the damage they're doing to each other. But Usyk's got I never seen him throw that much volume before. And I never seen him throw faster. You know what I mean? Like he was never faster. And I don't know what his output was, but sure, for a heavyweight, it was absurd, you know? I'm not justifying 7-5. I'm not, I don't.
Seems like you're justifying the 7-5 piece.
I'm saying it's not out of whack. Did you see a robbery? Did anybody see robbery? Let me turn on Anderson. Anderson, when you saw 7-5, did you say robbery?
No, because they still had Usyk winning, but I still don't see how you can give him 5 rounds. I think the 3 rounds, right? The 9-3 was the only rational scorecard. 8-4 is pushing it, but like, okay, whatever. You gave him a sympathy round, but like, literally, you give him one more round in that 7-5, it's a draw for that dude. It's nowhere near a draw.
All right. No, you're right. You know what? You're right. That scorecard, just my memory of the fight, yeah, I think it was more like a 9-3 type of fight. But
I get what you mean, though. That's why I said in a close fight, right? That would make sense because you could have, like, there have been arenas where one side sees one guy winning and the other side sees another guy winning, right? In these close fights, but for that specific AJ Usyk one, it's hard to really argue that, in my opinion, just because it was a clear win.
Okay, but I'm not arguing it. That's the thing. Who's arguing it? Except for that judge might argue it. But again, I'm just saying, like, the judging gets fucked up. They could do a lot of things to make the judging, to eliminate a lot of the scandal. You know, you could just make an odd number of rounds, and that would take away a lot of the split draw bullshit. So believe me, I hear what you're saying, that it happens. Number one. Number two, I can't base my betting on it. And number three, I can't base my betting on it, especially if we have nothing to back it up. Like that's why I just asked about the last fight. I didn't see any nonsense with the last fight, is what I'm trying to tell you.
You saw a little bit of nonsense. So you saw a little bit of nonsense, right?
No, I didn't see any. I did not see any scandal with the scorecards in the last fight. I didn't even remember them. The guy won. That's why I asked, what were they?
No, we didn't see any scandal because they're correct. The guy that won the fight. Like Usyk should have won the fight. He won the fight. All right, but you start looking at the scorecards, and you start looking at the scorecards when there's a robbery. That's when you start dissecting the card, the rounds, and all that bullshit, right? But because Usyk won and he should have won, nobody took the time to look at the cards. But
I actually always look at the cards post fight. I always want to see those fucking cards. I'm always curious about that, just out of my own curiosity. But even in the stoppages, I want to see them. I want to see the actual cards with the signatures and the handwriting on them. But again, like, sometimes you can look at these cards and you realize like that these rounds are front loaded for one judge. You know, if that 7-5 judge front loaded a bunch of rounds for AJ, you probably have some kind of a beef. Or if, like, what fight was it that they all agreed all the way down the line They all agreed on the fucking scorecards and the rounds, down to the fucking round.
that's
It was a recent fight.
But it's rare, right?
Yeah, it was rare. Oh fuck yeah, it was rare. It was like wow. They all saw the same exact fight.
All right,
but
listen, guy, Pete, gotta cut you off here because we gotta take a phone call before this guy hangs up. 973, you're on the air. 973.
Hey, what's up, guys? I got cut off before with that dude freaking out. I just wanted to say one more quick thing, and then something that Jimmy was talking about with the robberies. Actually, I'll bring that up first. So, Eddie Hearn just recently talked about how you basically have to wine and dine, and this is his words, officials, to get them to even do the reffing and judging, etc. Okay, so and he didn't say it was anything specific, but like, hey, my family wants to come to the fight. Can you get me tickets? Like, do you get like it's not like they're stupid enough to be like, oh, this is what has to happen. Like, people get things implicitly. And then the other thing was, guys were talking about, oh, if AJ loses weight, losing weight lowers your punch resistance, which, so, I mean, technically, I guess if you lose some muscle mass on your neck and traps and shoulders, depending on your, like, anatomy, like, it could potentially make your head snap back more. But generally what happens is when people cut too much weight and become dehydrated, that is when guys become, quote unquote, more punchy from losing weight. It's not like if he dieted down, got his cardio up, and is healthy and has more oxygen running through his body, it actually might help his punch resistance. And also, punch resistance isn't an exact science anyway, so I just wanted to get that in real quick, guys.
All right, well, thanks for calling back and clarifying, all right? Take care.
Take care, lads.
All right.
Hey, can I say something here?
Yep.
Hey, we're all talking, okay, everyone's making, more or less good points. I won't say great points. You guys are making okay points. We're not talking about the real issues. Who's going to design Usyk and Joshua's ropes? Is it going to be those two gay guys that we saw from Wilder? Oh, my God. We got the...
You look fabulous.
We're back.
Do you guys remember that first fight with Usyk? He came in looking like a fucking astronaut. Do you guys remember that shit? He had like this screen, like it was awesome, dude. I honestly want whatever he has. I think it's called like Jags It or something. And like he had
that
this
motherfucker's coming in with fatigues
visor.
on.
You know what?
Yeah.
Can I just say something?
Look up Usyk's ring walk versus AJ. The motherfucker looks like an astronaut, like some Ukrainian astronaut. No joke.
Yeah. But when it comes to AJ, you know what? I think AJ shouldn't come out with those fancy entrances that take a long time. I think he should just go in there, Mike Tyson style, and try to intimidate Usyk at least, with the entrance. You're there for business.
He might come out Mexican style. No, now that he's with Robert Garcia, that'll be cringe.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to play mind games with Usyk. That's for damn sure.
Probably not.
And I don't think you're going to. I don't think. I think it's the best two heavyweights in boxing right now. I think they're still 1 and 2, and I think it's a fucking 50. I think it's a damn close to 50-50 fight, man.
Well, the Ring Magazine belt is on the line apparently, because they stripped Fury, Tyson Fury. He no longer has the Ring Magazine belt. That's gonna be up for grabs this Saturday.
And no longer has the lineal. In fact, the lineal belt is going for this fight. This fight now is going to be a lineal champion. Yeah. Whoever wins is going to become the lineal heavyweight champion.
I was listening to Sky Sports, and they're still hoping that Fury doesn't relinquish that WBC belt. But I'm thinking if he relinquishes the Ring Magazine belt, he's probably going to relinquish the WBC, and then we're going to get into that whole mess that some of you guys were talking about, where Wilder's going to be fighting I don't know who for that fucking WBC belt. So yeah, that's gonna
Helenius, it's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, if he was going to, he's not. He's fucking around, man. This guy's bored. If he was really retiring, he'd relinquish them, and if he was really retiring, Suleiman would take it from him.
He has his music career going for him now.
Shit.
He has till the 28th of this month. They gave him a deadline. He has to tell them by then because they want to get that belt in the hands of Wilder so bad. It's crazy.
And isn't it funny that the deadline is when Usyk enough time to
after
to see if who wins for Usyk and AJ, right? And if AJ loses, he probably is going to retire for good. I mean, he's set for life anyway. He doesn't need to fight, step in the ring again. I mean, So, but I think if AJ wins, it's going to be too much money for him to pass up on. So I think he's going to, come back. But, Wilder being champion again, he's just going to gatekeep the belt at the PBC, and it's not going to be good for boxing or any of the fans.
Zero chance he calls out Usyk to unify. That's just not going to happen. Honestly,
I think he ducks. I think he ducks too, Jimmy, for sure. This
Usyk
dude,
will fuck him up.
the WBC is like full of shit. They're making it seem like they're pressuring Fury.
That's the bigger issue. Yeah, that deadline's bullshit. That deadline will get extended 50 fucking times.
Well, not even just that. It's like
look at
this dude is officially retired or whatever, right? He's playing these fucking games, and then he's allowed to say, "I'll retire after this fight happens." If they forced it prior to this, so basically, right? They're giving him 2 weeks.
Retires. Yeah, these guys retire after every fight. This is boxing.
But we know that this is a ploy. But we know this is a ploy for the winner of this fight, right? Like to mess with them. If it's AJ, we know he'll say, "I'm coming back. I'm gonna become undisputed. I'm gonna beat this Dosser or whatever, right?" And he's gonna do his typical bullshit. But with Fury or with Usyk, right? He's not gonna keep the same energy. So the WBC, what they should have done is force that deadline prior to the fight. In that case, he says, "I'm not retiring," and Usyk wins. He's forced to fucking fight Usyk or look like a duck, which he should be. He's allowed to act like he's not ducking Usyk and say, "I'm retired."
You know what? You're
with this
right.
fucking due date being after the fight.
So he's waiting to see how things play out.
And the reason why they can't extend it a bunch of times is because it's going to go to when's Wilder fighting Helenius? Is that October? So because they're going to give it to him. People have already said that's where because he's the number 1 ranked. So obviously,
but look, Jimmy, no, that's not. So it's not how it works, though. He has to fight somebody.
Yeah,
and also,
Helenius, Robert Helenius.
Let me hold up. Listen, Joe Joyce is the second in WBC, so he might fight Joe Joyce for the WBC title.
I don't think they'll put him in someone that tough.
You guys watched the WBC create a belt out of thin air that was non-transferable, and then after a fight, take it off of one guy and transfer it to the other with a straight fucking face. What makes you think they're going to follow any rankings or any deadlines?
It plays into what they're doing. They have Wilder. Think about it. They have Wilder has not won a fight since 2019. Right?
He's a backup. He's a backup. I get it.
He's lost his last 3 fights, last 2 by knockout, and they still have him ranked number 1 at WBC. Obviously, that's for a reason. They want to give him back that fucking belt.
It's because
and the same reason. Let me finish. The same reason why they have Thurman, who hasn't fucking beat a real opponent in welterweight since fucking Christ Obama was president, and that fucking motherfucker is ranked number 1. They just actually bumped Virgil Ortiz to put him in, and the reason for that, because if the Spence Crawford fight goes through, this Thurman happens to be number 1 at the WBC. Look at that. It's just they paid the WBC for the ranking spots.
But Jimmy,
there's a reason why they would do that. They wouldn't have just paid him for no reason. Is my point.
It's also who has the most money. At the end of the day, whether we like it or not, Wilder has become a global star and a pay-per-view attraction. Right? He also is entertaining. He has
nothing to do with the ranking, though.
What pay-per-views did he do?
Let him finish.
Let me finish. Right?
Okay, go ahead.
Wilder has a big right hand. He's entertaining. Right? So the WBC would rather give him the belt because they know they'll make money off of Wilder, like they did before. They don't like guys who are not entertaining. Why do you think when Mauricio Sulaiman was in the ring when Haney won, he was upset? Like there's a picture of Mauricio Sulaiman when Haney won. They want fighters who are excited.
MMA, let me ask you. You know that only one of his fights have been profitable. The last one with Fury. The first 2 lost money. Even the one that sold over 800,000. Top Rank said, "No, we lost money on this fight."
All the 3 fights did great. They did great.
No, they didn't. Virgil, listen. Let me lay down some. This isn't my opinion, so listen. Against Ortiz, that fight lost over $15 million when you figure into purses and the split by the number of pay-per-views they sold. I can get you to hold, somebody put a whole graphic on it. It was an absolute fucking abomination. It did terrible. It did terrible at the gate. It did terrible all around. That fight lost $15 million. So, no, dude, he's not been, his name might be big, but it's also very important on who he's fighting. Because if he fights Robert Helenius and it's going to be a pay-per-view, they already said it's going to be. I guarantee you that fucking thing ain't going to be profitable.
Nope.
Hey guys, let's not overcomplicate it. We're all basically saying the same thing, which is, yes, they're in it for the biggest purse that's going to be available. It's relative to their options. Fury is a bigger. They'd rather leave it on Fury so he could fight AJ or Usyk. But second to Fury, and also a little bit of leverage on Fury. Of course, they have Wilder on the back burner. I mean, because after that is what, Helenius? So it's like, yeah.
You know, there's other guys who deserve it more than him. He's lost. They're knocked out, like Steve Kim written.
Yeah, I didn't say deserve it.
That's so obviously. Yeah, that's what I mean. So then when you, okay, but they don't deserve it then. We can all agree on that. So if somebody doesn't deserve something, then why do they have it? Because the PBC paid to have it. That's the fact. That's how they do it, Nat. That's not even
you're right.
That's how they do it. So why would the PBC, who it does, but why would they do that if they don't have money, unless it was for a reason? I'm telling you, they're going to give it to him against whoever he fights next, and it's going to be Helenius.
Listen,
if Fury
retires,
right? Okay, yeah, we're all saying the same thing.
The WBC is a fraud organization. At the end of the day, right? The WBC, their main goal is about money. They're scamming these fighters, and the board of boxing, whatever, who sees through everything. All the commission, all they are just figureheads. Whatever, they don't do anything. Anthony said he went to a fight, and it was just regular white guys who were in the commission. Like you would think they were just some nerds. But anyway, right?
That's at the end of the day.
Wait, regular white guys? Is that what he said?
Yeah,
regular white guys?
Regular nerds, yeah. But at the end of the day,
that's racist.
Yeah, but how about fuck you? Like seriously, like just gonna assert white people are nerds?
Nah. Not.
Well, that's what you said, dude.
They look like nerds. Like they're just like they didn't look like they worked for a commission. But anyway, I'm saying they let the commission lets these guys do anything they want. They let them. And they threaten the WBA. Oh, the WBA is going to be taken away or whatever. They're going to boot the WBA, but they know they're not going to take the WBA away. It's just they're just talking to make the fans seem like, oh, they're actually doing something right in boxing, but it's not.
Jimmy was 2 seconds away from calling him HM the N-word. I would have been interested to see what happened.
Listen. I could go back and forth with people. I'm here for boxing.
Obviously. Yeah, but...
yeah, you're right. Exactly, Pete.
But I tell you what,
I
honestly think that that Usyk and AJ... I don't know what Fury's up to with the retirement bullshit. He's in a Ferrari yesterday. It looked like he was in a go-kart with his fucking knees up to his fucking chin, sitting in a Ferrari with a trailer in the background, just like Snatch, just like those travelers in Snatch, with a real caravan in the background.
No, wait a minute. Are you saying he was in the back? There was the fucking caravan.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, no. Exactly, precisely what I'm saying. He was sitting in like a 430. Spider, black one, and it looked like he was like, when you go to the go-karts with your nephew or some shit, and it's like, his knees were up to his fucking, I don't fucking know.
US or over there in Europe?
It was in the UK, I guess. But they panned around. He's like, oh yes, I'm enjoying my retirement. Like he's like fucking Lou Gehrig, like fucking giving his final speech. Look, man, these guys retire after every big fight. I mean, at this rate, they retire after every fight. I mean, technically, I'm going to retire when I leave this office tonight, and I'm going to fucking declare my retirement. I'm going to be back tomorrow morning. I mean, it is what it is. So I don't understand what his game is with the retirement bullshit. It's like, but it just goes to show you that we're all kind of saying the same thing, which is how much can you put into
Joshua. Joshua, every time he loses or after like a fight, he's back in the gym like 2 weeks later. I gotta admire his dedication, man. But sometimes, even if you're dedicated and you got all that self belief, that can only take you so far. Because the other guy believes in himself too.
Gonzalo, I guess Fury was living here part time. I guess he got himself a place, but then he got kicked out of the country. They won't let him back. So I don't know if he had somebody take care of his place, but yeah, he's not
There's
allowed
going to
back
be
in the
a lot
country
of
right
stuff
now.
coming out
Holy
soon.
shit.
There's going to be a lot of stuff coming out soon on Daniel Kinahan and Tyson Fury. Stay tuned.
Anyway,
I mean, yeah, they're probably that they hung out together. Why? Let me ask you, MMA. Do you really think he was moving fucking kilos of coke for him? Do you think he was involved with any of that?
No. Let me break it down to you. At the end of the day, right? Listen, Tyson Fury was the money man for he was the cash cow for the organization. They were using Tyson Fury to bring money into the organization. At the end of the day, this guy is a drug cartel leader. He's a dangerous.
Say that one more
But
time.
according to U.S. government, they were bringing in billions with a B in drug and narcotics. So what Fury was making was penny cash for what they make. You know what I'm saying, dude? If they're a cartel, they make that money's nothing to them.
In the chat, plutonium. In the chat, plutonium says that
that's what I'm saying. A
MMA.
cover for what? Do you think he was
Alright,
involved?
NBA,
Like,
step in
No,
and
I'm saying
tell people to shut up.
Tyson Fury is a cover up for the organization, so they look like they're just managers or whatever.
Okay, I appreciate it, but let me ask you this: if you're an organization, a cartel, you're slinging megatons, right? Would you bring in the most recognized large white man on the planet to hang around with? Like, I don't understand the angle. Like, why would you bring that attention to yourself?
No.
I'm asking.
I never said that. I'm just saying that he's the cash cow for the organization. And listen, you think Daniel Kinahan, he commits way more crimes. I mean, he put his fighters in danger after shooting in Dublin or something, I think, right, in the weigh-in. So if he did that, you don't think he could pay off Mark Whelan? You don't think that he could
MMA, that's not how it works. MMA, and that's not how it works. You need evidence. Listen. All right, hold on. This is stupid. Let me just read Plutonium's super chat. Thank you for your contribution. He says, MMA, at the end of the day, champ. MMA, you have to stop saying at the end of the day. Say at the end of the night.
I'm trying my best.
At the end of the night. Anyways, I don't know. I went to the bathroom and then I'm hearing about what the hell's going on here. Like Fury connections with the mafia or something. Come on.
No, with the Kinahan cartel, with the Irish cartel.
All right.
It's like Julio Cesar Chavez, man. You're famous. People know you all over the place, rich or poor. They want to take the picture with you, man. They want to get a little bit of your clout because they're your fans, right?
But listen, let me ask you guys a question. Let me ask you guys a question. I'm gonna go. Listen, at the end of the day, why did Tyson Fury hang out with a guy like Kinahan, right? And Bob Arum, they're doing business with a guy like Kinahan, and who is a known cartel leader, and his record's out there. He was arrested before, so they obviously know that.
No, he wasn't.
Because he's rich.
Daniel
That's why
Kinahan has
he
never
hangs out
been
with him.
arrested.
He was arrested before. There's a
No,
photo.
he hasn't.
There's a-
Daniel
there's a
Callahan
photo.
is the one. Daniel, no, he's never been arrested. He's never
There's a
been
photo.
convicted
There's
of
a
a crime.
There's a photo.
So you're making shit up.
I've read every
I'm not
possible
saying-
thing.
Why
It doesn't
are we
matter, but he's never been
addressing
arrested.
All right.
I'm not saying
You're
he's
lying,
been
MMA.
convicted. I'm not saying he's been convicted. I'm saying he's been arrested. That's two different things. So get your facts straight. But anyway,
You're lying,
Dude,
MMA.
don't come at me with facts because you're saying a bunch of weird shit. But whatever.
All right, we're ending this shit. We gotta move
MMA,
on.
you're breakdancing.
No,
That's
no,
what
no.
you're doing.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask. That's it, bro.
Last
Listen,
question.
at the end of the day, like I said, listen. Why would they be with a known criminal organization enterprise leader?
Power is seductive. Listen, dude, I'm going to tell you right now, you're taking a long time to ask. No, dude, because you're taking forever to ask, why would he be seen with them? Why? Power, dude. Because he's a fucking... Yeah, because he does it for power. Everybody in Ireland knows who Kinahan is. He is the fucking most powerful drug cartel. Men are attracted to power. He has pussy. Could you even imagine the life they were living in Qatar? The bitches, the fucking parties that you couldn't even imagine, right? And he's got so much money. And to say he was the fucking money man or they were using his money, that's saying he was involved in trafficking drugs. Believe me, they didn't touch his money. Fury hung with him because he could. Everybody gets drawn to it. It's like the sun. I've seen it my whole life. No matter who you are, you get attracted to the power. And that's all it was.
All right, there you
MMA
go.
makes like 7-hour lectures about nothing. No offense.
Exactly.
You know what? Though?
Conjectures. And
This is dangerous for MMA champ. He's in Brooklyn. There's a lot of Irish people out there. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Kinahan Irish connection there in New York. I gotta say, MMA champ. I know you think you're the king of the world, but you over there in your ivory tower in Brooklyn. But you gotta be careful, man. You gotta be those Irish people. They don't play around, man.
That's
They
right.
swallow.
He sounds like, hey, he sounds like an FBI agent,
All
and
right,
even
guys,
worse for the Democrats.
All right, can I just I need to quickly read two super chats. Hold on, just 2 seconds. My
There's
mic,
no Irish
you guys
people
can
in his
hear me.
bedroom with
You
him.
guys can hear me with a fucking mic. Nicholas, thank you for your contribution. He says this Saturday, tune in to see Usyk vicious Ukrainian Viking warlords cack completely disrespect if the enemy. Okay, Mr.
What?
Bia, can you read that? I don't understand.
Well, okay. So this Saturday, tune in to see which is Ukrainian Viking warlords. I think that's the hairstyle. Completely disrespect that of the enemy. I think that's what he means. But I think he's talking about the hair. If I'm correct.
Yeah. Well, I think is he bald now? I forgot.
No, I think he had that Ukrainian thing there where he's bald. He's got that
again.
at the tip of the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Camacho
A
type
top
of thing?
knot.
Yeah. the Hector Camacho. Michael,
I want to see the weigh-in, man. I
Michael,
want to see what that weigh-in
before-
looks like.
Oh yeah, you gotta see it. Michael,
He's had to have put on 20 more fucking pounds from what I've seen.
hold on, Michael. Thank you for your
Bulking up.
contribution. Hold on, Michael. Thank you for your contribution. He says AJ is gonna lose. Callum Smith is on the undercard. AJ always loses when he's there. Interesting. So Callum Smith brings bad luck to AJ. We'll see what happens, man. I guess that's something to look at. But anyways, thank you for your contribution, Michael. MMA is back. MMA, are you gonna behave or what?
Back for more MMA?
It seems like I
You can't get enough of me, huh?
Hey, yo, I'm not even talking to you, bro. I'm like who are you? But anyway, bro, listen. It seems like I got some boomers in their feelings now. They're hurting me, screaming at me. But I'm here for boxing,
We'll keep it boxing, man. All right, let's keep it. Ignore everything he just said before. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. We're gonna keep it boxing.
I think he's making some sense, man.
Yeah, exactly. Don't encourage the guy. Pete, Pete was
I mean,
gonna say
no one's saying you're a fucking moron, MMA champ.
No,
one's saying you're a dipshit.
I am.
or
Yeah,
an
exactly.
Idiot. Just talk boxing. Yeah, it's fine. You're here for boxing.
No.
You got it.
He's a good negotiator. Remember the movie Captain Phillips?
Okay, what the fuck? Man, come on.
I got nothing against Tony Weeks or miniature Tony
Is
Weeks.
Captain Phillips about when the Africans rob his boat? Wouldn't that be
Yes.
champ?
Yes.
Yeah, it is him. I'm the captain now.
I don't think that story really happened. I think that's more U.S.
It's two different countries. Get your facts straight.
They're all the same to me, honestly.
All right. Well, listen.
Bro, stop it.
One thing I wanted to say from way back is, if it's a close fight, closer than the first one, I think we can all agree they're giving it to Joshua. And it's interesting because you can't. I said this before the Bivol Canelo fight. I said if I picked Bivol to win, and I said they're gonna give him that. I was betting that they were probably gonna give him the decision because as the A side, you can only get so many A side advantages in a row before it actually starts hurting you. For example, if a guy fights 5 times, and 3 out of those 5 times he either gets 2 give decisions or some other form of advantage, like a Fugazi stoppage or something, right? Eventually, it starts to rub off on people, and that actually is worse than if he actually takes a legit loss. So this time with Joshua, he hasn't really gotten that many. I mean, most of the time he's knocking people out. He's never really been giving a gift decision. But now, if something happens where he gets an early lead, and Usyk surges late, they could give Joshua that just those first 5 rounds, and maybe he wins another one. And as the last one is close, like the Teofimo Lopez Lomachenko type of fight, they give him the fight. Or don't be surprised if there's one judge that has it 119, 109 or something like that for Joshua. You know what I mean?
8.5
At
to
this point,
1.
they can do that because they already gave Usyk the correct decision in the first fight. So now they're like, all right, now we can get away with a bit of a robbery.
8.5 to 1.
That's what.
Absolutely. I mean, again, people will be comparing the two fights. If he does slightly better, it'll be similar to maybe like a worse version of Triple G and Canelo, where Canelo does better in the rematch, and you see a lot of people. That's all they need, even though it's very controversial. Many people see it the other way. In fact, at the time, I'd say probably a majority of people thought that one guy won, but as time goes on, those the memories of those fights will just sort of go away. It'll just be forgotten. That's a huge issue.
That's why, in my opinion, I'm almost 95% confident that it doesn't go the distance. Because look, if Usyk decided to step on the gas in the first fight in the 12th round, he left it a little too late. But if that round would have gone on for 30 more seconds, he stops Anthony Joshua, or the referee has no choice but to step in. He had that dude against the ropes at his mercy. Now, I think if Usyk decides to fucking step on the gas and leave it out of the judges' hands, he will. And that's why I think he wins ultimately, because if Usyk steps it up, if Joshua steps it up, Usyk will step it up more. If Anthony Joshua becomes more aggressive, Alexander Usyk will become more aggressive as well. Everything that Joshua does, Usyk will up the tempo at any given moment when Joshua tries to make it more of a fight of it. And I think now he will go for the knockout.
MMA champ just turned on the camera and showed us what he was eating. MMA champ, that kind of looked like human meat. Was that regular like cow meat or beef, or was that?
It was a dog.
Some kind of brain food. Hey, obviously. Hey, the thing is, I think AJ knew he needed a knockout this fight. I mean, he was. It's one guy that knew he was fucking behind. I think he had the score right in his own head, in his own corner. Listen, man. When you're these heavy heavyweights like this, these big heavyweights, when they go for it, that's when they're the most vulnerable. So he went for it in the 12th round, overexerted himself, came up short, and then almost got he gassed and he almost got stopped. He could have played it safe and survived the entire fight. So it's like, if AJ does that again, waits until late in the fight to overly exert himself and expose himself, just like Ruiz caught him the same. Andy Ruiz caught him the same fucking way. So I kind of commend him for going for it. At least he knew he needed a fucking knockout and he tried. You know what I mean? And if Usyk could fucking have poured it on earlier, he would have poured it on earlier. I never seen him bigger, and I never seen him faster, Usyk. And I was shocked. I was shocked at the weigh-in last fight. You guys put the thumbnail up the last show, and I didn't even recognize that was Usyk. I mean, and he played it very well. Okay, but the book, it's obviously known now that this guy's putting on weight, right? Listen, AJ can knock him out. You know what I'm saying? And Usyk doesn't respond to people coming after him like that, but by turning it up higher. He usually fucking uses his movement to expose you, like when Chisora was chasing him around. So I mean, I think it's a 50-50 fight, man. These guys, it's an intriguing matchup. Usyk's a problem for any of these guys, for any heavyweight, especially with the extra weight. And it's not, at least last time, it didn't affect his speed whatsoever. He actually was faster, I think.
Pete, what was your pick the first fight?
AJ by decision.
He would have to knock him out with one punch, Pete, in my opinion. He's too lively with the feet. Even if he got hurt, he would know how to retreat and survive for a little bit until he got his wits and whereabouts about him. And that's Usyk.
But you know what?
Usyk
But you know what? You know what I see with Usyk though? I see when he gets hit and he gets hurt, like in that Dorticos fight and in that Bredas fight. I see that he likes to sit in there and fucking bang a little too much. I think he fucking gets hot-headed sometimes. And I think when someone comes after him and really tries to hurt him, he tries to come back over the top. I noticed that about him.
He does. He does try to hit you harder.
Hey guys,
if you come after him wild and you obviously can't keep up with his feet, which I don't believe anybody in the heavyweight division much could. If you try to come after him wild, he definitely makes you look foolish for doing it. But if you catch him if you catch him, he
Bucho,
definitely
I
will
was
sit
going to
there
say,
and
Bucho was saying something.
Yeah, if you look
Yeah.
at the
What was
odds,
that, Bucho?
if you look at the odds, AJ is a favorite to stop Usyk, but then after round 5, it goes over. Let's start switching. Now it looks like Usyk has
Would
a
be
better
favorite.
chance of stopping.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was thinking. If Joshua goes for the kill, but then Usyk survives, which I think he will, because he would like retreat and get his wits about him, he would not leave it up to the scorecards. You went after him, now he's coming after you, 100%.
And can I make a prediction? I believe he's going to bum rush him. I believe he's going to bum rush Joshua. The first punch, it won't even be. The first time he throws a power punch, he's going to fucking absolutely load up on it. Whether
Now,
he charges right at him, does it, or just lays everything, even if it looks like a power punch. But the first time he wants to hurt him, he's going to fucking hit him as hard as he possibly can, because Joshua's been down and it can change something in their head. If you ring their bell hard enough, it just instantly changes everything just a little bit. Makes you think a little bit more like, oh, fuck, that dude. And that was the first
Yeah.
one. So the way Canelo does, he's notorious for that. He loads up, and his first power punch, he rings you real hard.
Jimmy, guys, Chisora tried that. Did it work? Rushing the guy, rushing Usyk. Remember that?
Right. Jimmy's
No, I
saying,
was saying
Jimmy's
Jimmy's
saying
gonna rush Joshua.
Yeah, Jimmy's saying Usyk's going to rush Joshua. Yeah. Same
Yeah,
the opposite.
Usyk's gonna. But that's the thing, though. I think that's why I think Gonzalo's going with the stoppage, because people have been speculating about that. Now, look, maybe Usyk is putting on weight. I don't know about 230. Again, we had the discussion earlier, but I do definitely think that right now, with the fight taking place in Saudi Arabia, with him having tasted Joshua's power, he already knows what Joshua brings to the table. He knows he can hurt Joshua early. He hurt him early, third round. I think I agree with Jimmy. I think Usyk's gonna try to, because Usyk ain't stupid. He knows. Look, like MMA champ said, Joshua has Garcia in there for a reason, and I don't think it's for him to box. I think it is for, or maybe let's play chess here. Maybe it's all an illusion. Maybe he just hired Garcia to make people think that he's gonna go after Usyk's body. I don't know. I doubt it, though. I do think that he's gonna try to. I mean, I don't think he's gonna try to give the impression, oh, I'm gonna bang, and then the day of the fight he tries to box again. I don't think that's gonna happen. So I think Usyk's gonna try to match fire with fire, conservatively, mind you. But like Jimmy said, I think that's what he's gonna try to do. He's gonna try to get Joshua early again, because that's what happened the first time. Third round stunned him, and ever since then, Joshua was feeling like, oh shit, now I gotta really watch myself, because this guy can't.
Exactly.
All right, guys,
the Mike
listen.
Tyson adage is true. Everybody got a plan.
All
right, guys.
Perfect, Gonzalo. Exactly, brother. And I was gonna say too, he can be bigger. Believe it or not, he could come in at 220, a pound lighter, and still be bigger and stronger. Meaning, as you bulk up, right? If he got up, say he got 10, 15 pounds heavier than he did prior to the other fight. So you're starting at a higher weight, but your body fat's the same. So as he trims down to 120, 220, 221, he could have more muscle mass, less body fat. So he could be stronger, but the same size. So getting bigger can still make a big difference, even if you're the same weight. Depends on the weight and how you put it on. I'm done.
Yeah. Sure.
I think we should end the show. It's been almost 2 hours. So I'm gonna end the show.
I want to get my prediction real quick. So I haven't said my
All right,
prediction. Ultimately, I think what Pete said earlier, he said it's 50-50. I agree with that point, but I think we disagree a little bit on how we get to those odds. I think there's a lot of A-side bullshit coming with AJ. I think if it was a 50-50 fight in terms of like there was no bias in like the scoring or like the referees and all that shit, right? I think Usyk is a clear favorite, but I'm gonna go with Usyk by stoppage in the 9 through 12, like the last portion of the fight. I just think AJ is gonna be coming in more aggressive. He'll have success. He'll get a bit too cocky, sort of punch himself out. Then he'll just be open for Usyk. And Usyk, I think you got to think about this, right? They both have had now 2 camps to prepare, and I feel like AJ showed his tricks with, coming in a different style, right? In the first fight, like this boxing trick. I don't think he has any secrets left. Usyk, on the other hand, I think he does have potential secrets to show if the fight turns out a bit harder this go around. So I really do believe that, he'll do better. AJ will do better early, but then it'll just shift, and then Usyk will get the stoppage.
You said clear favorite. I could have sworn it's something like queer favorite.
I didn't see AJ trying to box the first fight. I just seen him not pull the trigger. He was just confused by that movement. And that
He's an idiot.
He actually one thing about the first fight, right?
He's totally different style to deal with.
But people act like he only just boxed one way. He actually did try to push the pace in some of the rounds. He did try to box in a few rounds, and then other times he just sort of was doing his usual thing. He did try different things, but every single time he tried to adjust, he get hurt, and then he went back into that safety first mentality. So people act like AJ didn't try to adapt. He did, but it just failed on him, and Usyk adapted better. So, like I said, Usyk stoppage. It's a very tough fight to predict, but I trust Usyk, man. He's been in the enemy territory plenty of times. I just trust him, man. He's the pound for pound king right now. Yeah, he's the pound for pound king.
So the same as the first fight, except for a knockout at the end instead of a fucking decision.
No, I think AJ will do. I think AJ will have success early, and then it'll shift.
At the end of the day,
Bucho the crackhead.
Rex wanted to give his prediction too, I think.
Take my prediction. Listen, no. There's been talk on my name, and handle disrespect. Listen, Johnny.
Your uncle's
whatever your
knocked
name
out.
is, Johnny, Jimmy, Timmy, whatever your name is, bro. Listen, you're a clown. You're 80 years old. You're ugly. You go play bingo. Stop playing with me. I'm not the type of guy.
What do you got, Rex?
MMA. Listen, hey, MMA. Listen, seriously, you're cute. You're a funny little guy. Yeah, dude. Listen, seriously, I fucking, dude.
Can't stay online.
You're a funny little kid, man. Seriously,
just ignore him. He's crazy, man. He's out of his mind.
Fucking retard.
I don't even want to wait. The other day, he's like.
I mean, anybody who comes on starts talking about people's mothers nonstop. Jimmy, at the end of the day, dude, you're an old man. Now imagine how that'd make you feel that this old man would put your fucking lights out like easy.
MMA is just a shit stir. That's it.
He wants attention, guys. He wants attention. Don't give him attention. I've noticed he just wants
I know.
attention.
But listen, but he comes on and he slaps you with that. I'm just here to talk boxing, but he uses white as a pejorative term. Bunch of white men. Yeah. It's like, dude, get out of here with that bullshit.
He wants to become controversial, whatever. He doesn't know how.
And then I didn't even say nothing, Bucho. It wasn't even me. I wasn't disrespecting his name.
Let's move on. All right.
We all know MMA doesn't want to see two white boys fight for the heavyweight championship.
About that guy. Who gives a shit?
What's right is right.
Ain't right.
All right, guys, you can't hear me because my mic.
I did say at the end of the day, but I didn't know he had a patent on that. But I guess whatever.
I don't want to be arguing with a Nat King.
All right, now you guys can hear me. Now you guys can hear me. Now you guys. All right,
you got a patent on that shit, though.
Jesus Christ, this is now I know what it feels like when Mr. BDA hosts a show because the mic just gets drowned. My sound gets drowned by everybody, so nobody can fucking hear me.
But you're better now, Bucho.
Yeah, but because when nobody's talking, you can hear me. When everybody's talking, like I'm talking, and on YouTube they can hear me, but on Discord you guys can fucking hear me.
That's right.
Fuck MMA. Fuck MMA. Fuck MMA. Don't give him attention. He's entertaining for a little bit, but for the controversy, nobody can hear me. All right. Dennis, thank you for your contribution in the chat. He says AJ TKO 10th round. Mark it down, please. I already did, Dennis. Dennis is on the record. I think he's like the third guy who picked AJ, third or fourth. Everybody picked Usyk, so we'll see what happens. Listen, I have to give my prediction. I haven't given my prediction, and I'm gonna factor in the robbery. Okay, I'm gonna factor in the robbery, so that means AJ is gonna win by split decision. AJ by decision, and I'm gonna add robbery. and that's Bucho's prediction. And I'm gonna place a bet as well because 8.5 to 1. That's pretty good, man. It's
Better
gonna
than me.
happen. Guys, I'm telling you that like Aldo said, the first fight wasn't even close, and some judge gave AJ 5 rounds. So that's not. I mean, he gives another round to AJ. That's a draw. He gives another round to AJ 7-5. That you can't tell me that's not gonna happen.
If that card's a draw, then it's a fucking majority decision for Usyk, right?
Yeah, because yeah, exactly. And I know what you mean. There's 3 judges, but I think 2 of the judges are gonna be in it.
Well, the second worst was...
Hold on, and I also have to add, to give credit to AJ. I think AJ is gonna do a little bit better than last time, so that's gonna be enough. So I have to say that as well. AJ is gonna do a little bit better.
I don't think Bucho. I don't think it'll go the distance. Remember when Reese fought AJ in the rematch? A lot had to do with the reason Joshua couldn't. He did good with the footwork is because Reese was a fat fucker. If Reese would have had better legs, he would have been able to chase down Joshua, and that's what I'm referring to. Usyk ain't no fat Ruiz. He's gonna be in some sort of a shape way better than Andy Ruiz was in the rematch. If Joshua tries to knock out Usyk, he might not get it. Then Usyk's gonna go after fucking Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua's not gonna have that type of success or even luck to get on the back foot and look like he's putting on the masterclass, let alone fucking survive if that dude's coming for you. It ain't going the distance, man.
Another thing too, Bucho.
It ain't going the fucking distance. No,
100%.
Bucho, another thing as well.
Aldo, yes.
Somebody said, right, that it would be like a majority, still a majority win for Usyk. Not true. It would actually be a split draw because the other second worst judge, right, had it 8-4. So if you get 2 rounds to the 7-5 and 8-4, that's a draw right there. So
no, he said, he said the same thing you said, which he was 1 round away from having a draw on that one card. And I said, well, then it would have been a majority decision for Usyk then.
But then he said 2 rounds, it's a win from that guy. But
he said two rounds on that card, it gives AJ the win on that card.
But if you look at the other judge as well, if you give two rounds, it makes the whole fight a draw.
Yeah, if they had both fucked up more than they already did, then yeah, I guess you disagree with them. I don't score the fight live. I'm not fucking Rain Man. I can't sit there with a pad and a paper in my hand. I mean, I can tell a bad decision when I see it, and not just because Usyk got the win. I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying 7-5 because I don't sit there like fucking with a clicker in my hand, and I'm not fucking DeLuca or whatever. The thing about it is though, I just see these guys coming in. I think they're the best 2 heavyweights in the division. I don't think they're going to change their stripes. I didn't see him. I don't think Joshua's going to come out and attack him like a fucking wild man. Like Chisora did. I just don't see him doing that. I don't see Usyk coming in and marching,
Exactly. I don't
they're
see
both going to fight their fight. Yeah.
Okay, this Usyk rushing in and go. I mean,
rushing in. I meant by bum rushing, meaning in the sense that your first punch you hit him with as hard as you can, not the actual like ding 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 and MMA fight when they charge across the ring. No, I meant like
Jimmy. Do you mean like Ali and Foreman, where like the first 10 seconds he comes out and hits him with a big 1-2 or something? That's what you mean, right?
Exactly. Tries the first time he hits him, it's real hard. Yes, that's what I meant.
The first fight. He actually the first 10 seconds he did with a big left. So yeah, I agree with that sentiment. Then
that's what I meant. I apologize. I should have worded it better. It did sound wrong.
No, I wasn't even addressing what you said, Jim. I said there's people actually that say that Usyk's gonna come in, going for the knockout, just put pressure. I think Mr. BDA mentioned that. There's some people that are saying that's what they're predicting. Listen,
good video, by the way. Mr. BDA did a great video. I just wanted to say that while we're still on the air. Everybody check it out, man. Guys, he always does good shit. Always top notch. Puts a lot of effort into these things.
Yeah,
Jimmy didn't see it. The Colonel. Jimmy didn't even see it.
Two thumbs up. Mr. BDA is angry at me today.
I'm kidding. But hey, I think it was Rex. Did Rex give his prediction?
Yeah. Not yet. Bucho, take my prediction down.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I predict that Usyk is going to KO MMA champ's uncle in late stoppage. Write that down. Yeah.
Usyk, late stoppage.
You
got a specific round, Ricks?
Probably like in the 9th round. Yep. He's gonna KO MMA champ's uncle. Write that down.
Cool. That's my round.
I might go.
You're a clown.
It's easy. You're a big stiff idiot, MMA.
Mr. BDA's prediction. Go ahead.
Shit. I think I'll give it tomorrow, man. I might go on tomorrow. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. If I go on tomorrow, I'll change it if I have to. But
Yeah,
right now,
all right.
yeah. I'm gonna go Usyk stoppage. I'm going with Gonzalo.
Round when?
damn.
When?
I'm gonna go round 8.
Okay.
All right. I gotta change mine then, guys.
No.
I'm not gonna switch it, but can you specify, since everyone's giving a specific round 10 for me? Round 10.
I'm looking like a skid, bitch.
You are, Jimmy. Yeah, now you changed your mind.
I'm looking like a punk right now.
You're scared. Don't change your mind. Don't be a woman.
Scary.
Don't be a woman.
Don't be scared, homie.
I'm not changing it. I'm just specifying, by the way.
Wait, what did you say,
10 to make a specific round. I said late, but I'll just say 10 to be more descriptive.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, there's Chief. There's a guy named, I don't think it's boxing Chief, but there's a guy named Chief who wanted us to take down his prediction, but I don't see him. I think he's running 3 different. I think he said Usyk already figured AJ in the first fight. He's gonna figure it out early. Okay, he's going. Okay, there's a guy named Chief, and he says Usyk knockout, but he doesn't give a run. So just write the
cut and dry. It's cut and dry.
Did somebody just quote? I got to ask. When somebody said, "Don't be scary," were you just quoting that Eddie Murphy movie, Life? Is that what you were just doing? Because that was some funny shit. I just got to say.
Yeah. Don't be scared, homie.
that was.
I thought he was talking, in Goodfellas when with the whole Billy Batson when he goes. Joe Pesci goes, motherfucker. He goes out, and then Billy Batson goes to the people around him. Don't get nervous. Like,
come on. You're a big tough guy. You're a tough guy. Come on.
I see in the chat MMA was seething.
Where are you getting fresh? My bad. Go ahead. Go Aldo.
MMA, he was seething in chat. He said Queen Bitcho. Kind of offensive, man. I don't know what's going on.
You can't get enough of me, huh? All right, round 5. Let's go.
Nah. Listen, let's
what you got? What you got to make?
Let's have the Kumite. Stop playing.
Let's do it.
Right, we need a Kumite.
Let's do it.
Listen,
dude, we need that. Yeah.
I'm gonna KO this guy easy. Okay, he's not on my level. Okay, you're not on my level, MMA.
I'm not even here for all of that. But listen, Rex, you've been talking my name too much. It's time for me to KO you. It's time for me to knock you out.
How are you gonna KO me when you can't put a sentence together? How?
Down go free. Okay. So, listen, bro. Listen, the champ is leaving. Have a blessed day. The champ is wishing everybody a blessed day. Peace out.
Who's the champ?
What are you talking
Me.
about?
Of course, he is.
Me.
Who else?
What champion?
He's
leaving the stream or leaving.
He's the champ of getting kicked out to the ghettos of the comment section.
Yeah.
Getting kicked out of the VC.
Well, hey, listen, I might do a show tomorrow. I might do a late night show, like around 8, 9, maybe even later. Why the fuck not?
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Hey, you got to do a show Friday for that weigh-in, man.
Get more predictions.
Go ahead, Buju.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, I want to see how you come. I'm kind of curious to see how they come in physically. I think Usyk's gonna fucking. He looks bigger, man. In his in those training clips he had, he's fucking big, man.
And don't forget that there's also a lot to talk about too from the others. That there's a Showtime, there's an ESPN card where there's Navarrete versus Baez. Obviously, I think Navarrete is going to win, but this other dude, even though he can't crack, he brings in a lot of activity, a lot. Then you got Nico Ali Wash in the undercard. That's the real main event.
Ali Boombaye.
Ali
Boombaye. Did you guys know he was? Did you guys know he's Ali's fucking grandson?
I didn't know.
Yeah, dude.
Hey,
yeah.
Jimmy, do you think they're gonna bring in the whole? Jimmy, do you think that after the fight, the whole family's gonna jump in the ring and?
Oh, of course, they're gonna have celebrities doing selfies. It's just he's got those. He's a middleweight. And he's wearing these are my grandfather's shorts. They were Daisy Dukes on you. Your grandfather was a heavyweight. Fuck you talk about. Those were packaged. Those know what those were? When they would probably send fucking Ali 50 dozens of those to pass out to people, right?
He got
That's
him
all
on
those
Amazon.
were.
I think he got him on Amazon.
Yeah, dude, come
You know what
on.
Nico
These are my
should wear?
grandfather's shorts.
What if
You know
he
what
just
Nico
starts?
should
What if he
wear?
just starts punching Tim Bradley in the head, and going, "Come on, gorilla, we in Manila." No.
You know what Nico should wear next fight? Like after he wins, he should wear those the African kente cap or whatever, right? Just embrace fully in his full lineage. You know, like he's a slick, athletic African.
When is Nico Walsh fighting in the Congo? I
What if
can't
he
wait for
comes
that
out?
shit.
Hey, what if he comes out with the Olympic torch in his hand, shaking like a fucking like he's in a blizzard?
Jesus
Nico
Christ,
wants to
geez,
drink
man.
up an
Pete's
ice
taking
cream
this to the next
breakers.
level, man. Come on.
Imagine he shows up with a fake gold medal. I mean, that would be the ultimate. Like just a fake gold medal.
My shit.
And he starts calling himself an actual fucking gold medalist. Hey, no, but listen, there's also I don't know if I don't want to harp on this too much because we got to go. But don't forget now, there's still a main event over at the PBC this Saturday as well. It's gonna be now. It's Figueroa versus Sergey Lipinets. That's gonna be an action fight, I think. You've also got, like I said, Akhmedov is gonna be taking on Puello undefeated, so that's gonna be an excellent fight. And you get another banger in the Roger Gutierrez versus Hector Garcia. So we've got a full day of boxing.
All right, full day, man. There you go. All right,
And UFC. Don't forget that.
whatever. Who's fighting?
Hey man,
Oh,
I will convert you guys. Trust and believe, I will.
I used to be a UFC fan, but back in the late '90s, too much. When you
He
had like
probably was
That's
it
when
was
they
more
were
exciting.
bums.
Yeah, I don't
He's
know.
got shorts every fucking color.
though.
Look at my shit.
You guys, I'm telling you right now, you guys will be having a stream about Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev. I'm calling it now. I'm gonna convert you before then, all right?
I don't like.
And you're
those
gonna.
names.
I don't like those
Come on, man.
Watch
Come
the next
on.
Adesanya fight.
No,
It's
just
a
you know
fucking-
what,
it'll be a
Aldo, I
bomb.
just there's
do
too much.
not watch
I can't follow.
Adesanya. Do not watch Adesanya.
They know
I
I'm
can't-
joking. They know I
can't
follow
all
MMA.
these
They know I'm
sports,
fucking
man.
around.
I can follow all these
That's
sports.
MMA champ's brother.
No, come on, man.
That's Andrade's brother.
Bucho,
That's Andrade's
I think
brother.
Bucho only follows boxing and soccer, no, and he's gonna
Yeah.
be following now that
And
the World Cup's
curling.
coming. How many more days to the World Cup, Bucho?
A few days it was 100 days, so we're probably at 90, 94, 95. Yep. But anyways, guys, time to go home. You guys can stay on Discord if you're gonna keep chatting. I'm gonna bounce. So see you maybe tomorrow, I guess.
Be good,
right.
Bucho.
Seems
Take
like
care.
that. Is it?
Oops. Anyways, everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us. Mr. BJ said he might be doing a show tomorrow, so I hope he does want to be late night. Late would be better. Can sneak in a nap or something. But anyways, let's play this amazing music that I found on the internet.